What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. Glad that you could join me. What was going on this afternoon? I think we're gonna have a very interesting discussion. Following up from last night's conversation, and we're gonna follow up that conversation later on this week, probably with a second part to it, because I think it was very interesting, and I think a lot of people still had some things to add to it. So let's get this party started. Let me see. Let me look. Shout out to Culture, because this just makes my life easy. First, I'm Ed Honcho, your host of The Den. Ed Honcho HTX. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to follow my personal social medias. Like the video, let the YouTube know you enjoyed. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. We do this 1 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Central Time, almost 7 days a week. 1 p.m. on the weekdays, 10 p.m. every night. Den Show Live, you can catch on all the social, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Den Show Live at Gmail if you want to send an email. If you can't watch, listen, I upload the streams to the podcast, so it's available on iTunes, Google Play. If you go to Den Show Podcast, you can get it directly. Go to Den Show Shop if you want to get some Den Show merch. Various t-shirts, the mug that I drink my coffee out of, things like that are available. If you want to call 833-284-3336, you can hit the Den line anytime, whether we're live or not. You can send a text message. If you come across some interesting news, you can send a screenshot. Memes, funny stuff, anything you just want to share it. I definitely appreciate that throughout the day. Some of you guys send some very funny stuff. It is very, very interesting. If you want to donate, you want to make a one-time donation to the channel, you can go to streamlabs.com/The Den Show. And if you want to make a monthly pledge, and shout out to all the Patreon supporters, you want to make a monthly pledge to the channel, you can go to patreon.com/The Den Show. Shout out to Miss Diana, Dan, Goya, Stina Starry-Eyed, James, Donald Trump, and, hold on, Miss Betty Spaghetti. And I appreciate all of you for having faith in the long-term success of this community as we continue to grow. But the most important thing you can do with this is share the Den with like-minded friends, because you know certain conversations on this platform, certain people on this platform, I'm not necessarily saying it's me, but we know certain types of conversations are getting reduced visibility. So the best thing that you can do for the Den, if you want to help out the Den, is to share the Den with a friend and tell that friend to share with a friend. And hopefully it'll spread like wildfire, and you know, we'll get to where we need to be. Now, we're gonna be talking about, do Democrats really give a shit about black people? And I'm sure there's other parties and other things will come up, because again, this conversation is for everybody. But let's see who we have joined us today, and then let's get into the conversation and let's talk about it. Compton Conservative, what's the motherfucking deal? Rune, what's the motherfucking deal? K Grace, Juan, what's the motherfucking deal? Beyond a Funny Nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? D Nelly, let me see. My name, Big M, Dusty Nuts, Chill Sports, Kenesha S, what's the motherfucker deal? Prepaid, what's the motherfucking deal? Eastside Hero, what's the motherfucking deal? Trying to get through gay reparations. Only One Lie, always good to see you. Mr. Nice Guy, what's the motherfucking deal? T'Challa, what's the motherfucking deal? Dre, what's the motherfucking deal? Nana Diana, let me see. Miss Meat, let me see. Make sure if I miss you, I ain't dish you. Nacho, what's the motherfucking deal? Napping motherfucking Nicole, what's the motherfucking deal? Bad and Bougie KM Live, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. All right. So, this is the conversation. And this is not just about the recent deal with reparations or anything like that. I just want to look at it historically, or throughout time maybe, right? And what I want to understand is, if you don't know, it's like 92, 95%, somewhere in that range. I think it's higher for black women than it is for black men. Of black voters basically lean Democrat. And if you have an understanding and you feel like that's what's best for you, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? But let's be honest, most black folks are not politically informed. I'm not the most politically informed. That's why I enjoy these conversations. I learn things here and there. That's why I enjoy a lot of the conversations, because I learned a lot. But I do have my beliefs. I do have, my protocol and my thinking. And, as my life has adjusted as I've gotten older, I've seen myself, value certain things less and value other things more. And so what I want to figure out is, why do black people, even if you're not black, your opinion is welcome. You may have sometimes it's good to have an outside opinion. Sometimes when you're in something, you can't see something. Sometimes you have to step back from things and see it. So maybe if you're not in that, it makes you see something differently. But I want to know why. Why do black folks lean so heavily Democrat? Even after, aligning themselves with this party for like the last 60 years. And not really seeing differences, not really seeing results, not seeing much change. We knew the strength of the black family way back then and how it's deteriorated so much up until this point. I mean, it's almost sickening. But yet there's all these promises, there's all these gifts, if you will, that they say they're going to do, they're going to help you out, it's going to improve. But we steadily see the decline. You look at the majority black cities in America that are primarily black with, black mayors and mostly black constituents, Democratic. And a lot of them are not doing too well, across the board. And this is not to say that every white city is doing great, but not every white city is heavily Democratic. So I want to know why. What is it about the Democratic Party that in the last few years, probably so much so up until this last election or so, that it's just had black people so enamored with the Democratic Party? Is it the love of the Democrats, or is it more the hatred of Republicans? Is it the promises that are always being made but oftentimes not followed up? Is it the lack of acknowledgement maybe from the Republican Party? Is it the lesser of two evils? I guess you could say that's a term that gets used a lot. Why do the Democrats basically almost feel like, well, we have your vote? Because if you look at a lot of the policies that they enact, a lot of things that they're promoting now aren't necessarily to the benefit of improving the situation of a lot of black people in this country. Yet those same black people are going to lean heavily Democrat no matter what. So these are my questions, and this is kind of what I want to know. This is what I kind of want to get to the root of today. And again, so I'm opening up the line shortly. I'm not going to spend too much time in my usual monologue. But I want to know if I want to know your political alliance. If you lean in either way, if you're independent, that's also welcome. I just kind of want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Is it a historical thing that just never got corrected? Do you think that the Democrats actually offer a better situation for black people? I just want to know what you think it is that has black people so closely aligned with them. I mean, that most won't even consider going across the aisle. Because what I've noticed about, especially in this last election, it's funny how things are handled on both sides, right? I've seen people who are aligned on the left disown, disassociate, condemn, spew vile, hateful things about anybody who voted for Donald Trump, or any black person who considered themselves a Republican. Not even just black people, I saw everybody do it. Just anybody who was I can't be your friend anymore. Never done anything bad to you, never done anything harmful to you, never disrespected you, but because of what I feel is best for the needs of this country, you can't be my friend anymore. I can't honestly say that I've seen that if you flip, the roles. Now I've seen people, of course, on the right, they clown, they insult. Republicans, conservatives make the best memes. I don't care what anybody says. It's a proven fact. But I've never seen anybody say that, unless I just missed it. I've never seen anybody say, well, you're a liberal, I can't be your fucking friend. You're ruining this country, this, that, and the other. Now, I've seen a lot of people try to educate. I've seen a lot of people try to disagree, only to get shut off and blocked off. Why is that? Is there a different mentality? Is there a different standard that goes with it? we saw recently, and it's not a black thing, but the situation, right, where those Trump rallies that they were saying people were getting beat up or this was happening to people, and they made a big, huge deal about it, right? And those people, there may have been some yelling, there may have been some insulting, and not to dismiss that, but we just saw, who was it, the Antifa folks, these are heavily left-leaning, damn near communist people in the streets of Portland, beating up people, beating up a young Asian gay dude, right? Even though they're for all kind of rights and stuff like that. And beating up an old man, not knowing his political affiliation, because they assumed that he was a Trump voter. They didn't even talk to him. They just beat up on him because he wasn't out there dressed like them, and they beat up on some other guy. I want to get to that specifically, probably later on this week, and address that as its own individual issue. But what is the difference between the left and the right, and how does this impact black voters, and why? So, DeMarkey, you're fired. I'm calling your boss. I'm gonna tell him all the stuff you've been saying in the chat. It's over for you, son. But I would definitely like to hear your thoughts. So like I said, I'm not gonna spend too much time on monologue. I do want to say shout out for D-Nelly though for sending that information. I spent a little bit of time reading it last night, a little bit this morning. Very intriguing. And I'm gonna get back to you about that because I found some of that to be extremely interesting. Let me get my coffee on, then I will open up the line, and then we will talk about some shit. Hey, look, my nigga, you know it ain't my fault you make bad cereal choices. I'm gonna tell your boss. I'm gonna tell your boss you eat bad cereal. That's why your work performance is weak, because you're eating shitty cereal before you come to work, and that's why you're not executing to the maximum to your maximum potential, because you're eating that shitty cereal. Now I hadn't had a chance to check it out. Now, I subscribed last night, but I hadn't been on the tube too much today. I was working on a couple of videos, and I was working on some articles for the site, 'cause I really need to get that up and going. So I hadn't had a chance to really to check it out, but I will definitely look at it, because I find Tulsi very very interesting. And I think, honestly, they don't want to hear it, but I think she's making the most sense on that side. But let us open up the line. Un segundo, por favor. You can vote for me for your Democratic candidate now. I speak of the Espanol. Ms. Compton Conservative, how are you this afternoon? I don't know, is it this afternoon quite where y'all are? But how are you doing? Okay. So let's talk about it though. Let's talk about it. So I would definitely like to know why people are so heavily aligned. Everything else looks copacetic. It's copacetic. And so you're gonna make it difficult for me. You're not gonna just do it the way I want to. No, that's not what I want. All right, there we go. All right, we will have the 10-minute rule in effect, so people can call in, get your thoughts in. And let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. It's still morning? Okay. Yeah, that's how it should be. I think that's how it should be. I think it should be. We have to give more raw content. That's why I'm trying to. I can't. The editing thing is. I don't know. I think that when you provide raw and genuine content, it gives more context into your opinions, your real feelings. It's easy to put on an expression for 2 or 3 seconds, cut it, and then switch it up and cut it. Like I have questions about some of the jump cut stuff and things like that. So there's that. Just because I feel like doing it, why not? Wow. But so my thing is this, like I said, it's basically about, I just want to know why, because I'll be honest, like I said, probably until, I tell you, I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so that, with Jehovah's Witnesses, they are not political, right? They don't really get involved in politics, wars, things of that nature. So I never really gave too much of a shit. But I started paying attention, trust me, I haven't been in quite some time. And I kind of started paying attention around what was going on with Obama. I started looking at things a little bit more. And as the years progressed, I'd pay a little bit more attention. And so But then after that, the second term, I started noticing some things, and then as we've gotten into the Trump era, I've noticed a lot of things and behavior, especially in the media, and I'm wondering, has the double standard always been like this? Is this, a new thing now that we have, social media and the impact of social media when it weighs in and what it can do? Things of that nature. So I'm very interesting. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. I just don't like your initials, so bow. That's funny. That's funny. We will address those things, and those things are needed to be talked about. Man, hey, look, if you're getting the right arbitrage from Jordan, shit, do your thug thing. You'll be surprised. People are making decent money doing things that you would not expect. And that's why I say, we live in a day and age. We'll talk about entrepreneurship this week too. So, because I told you I wanted to have a conversation about that, so that'll be coming up. I believe I have that scheduled for one of tomorrow's conversations. So we'll get to that as that comes. But hold on one second. I gotta time this properly. All right, we got the call coming in. Give me just 1 second. Actually, I have a bunch of calls coming in. It just wasn't making noise. Give me just 1 second here. Gotta fix the damn audio. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
All right. Who we got calling in to the den this afternoon?
It's your boy Chill Sports here.
Chill Sports, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind about the topic today, Chill?
Well, just to get several things out of the way. I try not to pay attention to politics these days because honestly, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. It's just a lot. It's just too much for me to actually pay attention to, because these days it's like it's so crazy how that even we're all seemingly not really just getting along anymore. I mean, I'm friends with people that are on the left, I'm friends with people that are on the right, and I'm friends with people that are in the middle. Personally, I'm in the middle. I used to be left, then I used to be right, and then I was like, I can't fucking decide. I'm gonna just stay in the middle of everything. I'm gonna read all the facts and then decide on my own what the right way is, what the right way to go with. And with this whole reparations thing, I mean, it doesn't really sound all too progressive in my opinion, because you're basically clinging on to the past. Like if we all want to move on through society and be able to live in harmony or some kind of shit like that, then why are some people so keen on keeping on hanging on to the past? Honestly, it was bad about what happened almost 200 years ago. It was a very bad ordeal, and it was bad what happened in the 50s and 60s during the Civil Rights Movement. But if we keep on clinging to those horrible times in the past, how the hell are we gonna move on through life in society? I mean, life ain't fair, and that is something we have to deal with. What will matter in the end is how we can handle it and move on and try to live a life of our own. And if you really cared about progression, why do you need money so badly? Why does money have to be a factor? We already moved past that. There's more equality. There's more America's nothing like what it was in the 1800s and during the mid 1900s. In my opinion, that was progression. But like I said, you still have people that are trying to cling on. That's nah, I think we should get more. Yeah, look at what y'all done. I mean, yeah, you gave us these, but we need more. We need way more. And I'm like, well, I thought what y'all always wanted was equality. I mean, now black people are not allowed to vote. They're now allowed to go wherever they want. There's no segregated bathrooms. There's no segregated fountains anymore. There's no more of that stuff. But then, like I said, they're like, oh, we need more. But I mean, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think it's progressive that they're asking for reparations, or do you think it's just holding us back?
I think that it's just a political ploy at this point. You know, that's where I see it. Like, I don't think there are any real intentions of delivering on that. I think, hey, it's election season. Let's throw out those trigger words to catch some people's attentions. Because we know that there are people who do feel passionately about this, and I think that if we tell them that we'll do it, or you vote us back in, we'll make it happen. But then again, I think again there will be no intentions. Somebody called last night and said something, and it was about the logistics of handling the situation, because I think they said the debt would be like $17 trillion. And then a lot of the conversation last night was, well, who gets it? Who gets to say they get some? Who gets to say that they they don't? And I just think, like, say, the way that the world or America has become now, that there's a lot of confusion. Again, like I say, you have the Rachel Dolezals of the world. Will they not be trying to get their hands into the pie because, hey, I feel like I'm black, even though there's no proof? How would you go about, getting this information? And even if you have, I look at it like this. People say, okay, we could go get paperwork, and you have to prove a certain amount. Well, you have people who don't even want to get IDs, and they feel like these voter ID laws are oppressive. So I think it'd be even worse to try to ask someone to go and get paperwork from their lineage to be able to prove that they deserve some type of reparation. There's disagreements on the percentage. Well, how black do you have to be? Where do you trace it? Is it anybody? And so again, I don't think there's a real intention to make it happen. Now, again, I say if I wake up tomorrow and there's a check in my mailbox, I will be going down to the nearest bank and cashing it. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm craving or hoping or wishing, because I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's almost like I won't even say a Santa Claus situation. At least with Santa Claus, somebody gives you some gifts, so even though he don't exist. But I just don't think it's going to happen. And so I think it's a ploy to get people to lean a certain way to have, because one side is going to have that conversation, one side is just going to dismiss it, and I think it's just a political plot, game, shenanigan, joke,
Yeah, I mean,
hoax, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, I mean, speaking of that voter ID thing, I watched a video about a guy. He went and I forgot. Yeah, it was a very interesting video. I don't know if it was scripted or not, but it looks pretty legit. But what he did first was that he went around. I forgot where he went, but it was a pretty white place, and he asked white people, Democrats obviously, you could tell, about voter ID laws, and every single one of them said, "Oh yeah, he went to California, I believe." He asked every single one of them, and he asked, "Are voter IDs racist? Do you think they're racism whatsoever?" And they all said yeah. And then he went to Harlem, and obviously Harlem is a black majority city. And then he asked black people, and they're like, "No, I don't think it's racist." and that's the thing. I feel like Democrats hide what certain minorities feel. Like there might be some people in like the minorities that actually being like, "Hey, I honestly don't agree with you. I feel like voter ID laws are necessary because I don't want. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't want someone who, one, could not be a citizen, or two, couldn't or is using a fake name to log in votes more than once." So it's just like what I believe Democrats are doing are just like hiding the truth of what some minorities actually feel and believe in. And with this reparation stuff, and I believe you're right about the whole it's election season. Like, yeah, it's what they're trying to do. Like, and with them and the Republicans, I believe they're trying to implement fear into blacks, Mexicans, Muslims and all the other minorities to be like, hey, if you don't want these guys running for president or running for any other major office, vote for us, because we'll definitely not be like that. And it's the media that will try to manipulate it in that way, so that way the Democrats could win.
So what do you think, Nacho asked, what do you think about illegals getting IDs? Because I know I believe in California, they're definitely opening up a lot of opportunity. We saw the candidates even mention, hey, we'll welcome them in, we'll give them free health care. How do you feel about them giving rights to people who are not even, citizens of this country just for showing up, as opposed to doing something that benefits the people who are already here, that have been here, that are, paying tax or whatever, that they're actually contributing to society? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think that's not a really good thing, because if you're giving voting rights and free health care to people that just came here and or are not citizens that just came here, illegal immigrants, then that's just because then they just came here. That's what they're doing right now. They're basically manipulating them to like, hey, I give you this, so I think you should vote for me as a payback. And and honestly, that free healthcare could be going to somewhere's better. Like all that welfare, all that stuff could be going to something better. Like shit, like why not give it to the I heard this whole thing about how the government hasn't done anything about the 9/11 the 9/11 like fund or whatever. How not a lot of like people that sacrificed their lives to be out there were not actually like given any reparations for that either. And in my opinion, that's something a bit more of a better cause to go to, because they literally sacrificed their lives just to not just like to save America and keep America strong, to save people's lives that day. But then you have Democrats like, oh hey, what about slavery reparations? Then now we drag that conversation away from what happened in 9/11 and people that actually kind of deserve that money to like something that happened 200 years ago. And it's just kind of mind blowing. But this is my opinion that like if you're just giving voting rights to illegal immigrants just like that, then what's the point of even becoming an American citizen when you can just live there? And that's what we don't need, in my opinion. Like if you're gonna live in America, in my opinion, you have to follow our laws, obviously, and you have to do the citizenship test like others that have done it right before.
Hey, chill. I don't mean to cut you off, but we got the 10-minute rule of fame. And I feel I understand where you're going, but I don't want the time Nazis to start attacking me.
Yeah, that's my bad.
But no, you're all good. You're all good. I baited you into a whole different conversation, so it's partly on me. But I want to make sure we get enough calls in. But if it's a free time, man, call back in, because I'd definitely like to hear you finish, expanding on that point.
Yeah, I actually have to go do some other things, but I'll definitely call in next time if there's something related to this, or hell, tune into the next sauce or the den. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man, and getting this party started, man. So thank you for calling.
All right, man. You have a good day.
All right, you too. Look, y'all not gonna attack me about no damn time today. I'm gonna try my best to be on it. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this morning? Afternoon.
Man, it's your boy Roman.
I don't know what time it is. Roman, what's the motherfucking deal, Roman? What's on your mind, man?
Man, let me hurry and make this quick, but Tom woke just trying to get me. So, okay. We're talking about Democrats still care about black people? No. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Let's say, even if you was false care, you would hear something about reparation. And remembering from what I remember from these past two parts of the debate, I didn't hear nothing. I didn't really hear nothing. So what does that tell you? I think us as black people are not the focus of the Democratic Party right now. We're not the number one target to get the vote. We are like the number 5th probably right now. 10th, with all the problems going on. I think for years Democrats have always needed. I think blacks always been the pawn for Democrats. We need that vote. We need that vote. We need that vote. And they've got it. And I feel like with some people, black people not being educated, they're gonna get the vote again. When you're not really studying these candidates and really don't realize what their politics or their laws is. Good example, kind of like my grandma. She loves Joe Biden. She remembers Joe Biden because she was of course VP with Obama, and she was like, well, I'm just a vote for Biden. Well, I started breaking down, Grandma. I said, look, Grandma, hey, you got, I want you to do your research. Look, Biden did this, Biden this. Oh man, I don't care. I just love him. You get what I mean? It's you kind of. I don't want people, especially black people, to set themselves into bullshit. You guys really start researching who you want to vote for. Do these policies really benefit you and yours? So that's how I feel. But
so first, we've successfully converted Roman. Roman was a hardcore Democrat when he came into the den. Roman is now a conservative. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh man, I am not, nigga. I do not like Trump. I do not like Mitch McConnell. I still don't like them niggas. No.
No, you don't have to like them, but that doesn't mean you still don't have to. You could be. It's not about the individual. It's about the principle. It's about the beliefs. It's about what you support and what you don't support. But no, I have a question for you though about that. What you said, because you with your grandma, and so you feel like, do you feel like what the way your grandma feels is kind of how most Black Americans feel, that it's more emotion than facts?
Yeah. I think it is, man. I think we kind of go off just the face appearance. We go off how they look, how they talk, how they this, how they that. Who are they cool with? Especially I think with a lot of white politicians, when we see they did something with anything with black people, we automatically like them. I mean, you had Beto, this before he ran for president, but he was with, Bun B and all of them, for a charity event. Yeah.
Okay, and now, do you think that there is a double standard? I know I'm in ghost mode right now, y'all. I'm still here. Do you think there's a double standard? Because you talk about the things that they've done with Black Americans. Like, when it comes to the Republican Party or conservatives, it's automatic. Well, historically, they haven't liked black people. They haven't done this. They haven't done that. But yet, in more recent history, I mean, we're talking about early to mid 90s. Again, you had legislation that Biden wrote that the Clintons passed, that did a lot of damage to black communities. But we turn around and a few years later, not even 20 years later, we're more than willing to forgive them and give them opportunities to be president. Or, Hillary got majority of the black vote, even though, somebody got an uncle and a cousin that's locked up for life because of policies that, Hillary helped implement, that Biden helped write bills for. They're going to be willing to vote for him. Why is it that they're more willing to give the Democrats leeway when, again, like I say, in more recent history, they have done a lot of damage to us, as opposed to conservatives? It's like a permanent ban, no fly zone when it comes to black folks and conservatives. Why do you think that is?
Honcho, I think it's the lesser of two evils. Well, let me explain why. I think all politics is bad. All politics is a little evil. Now, I mean, both Democrats and Republicans, in a way, in my opinion, don't care about you. They care about your vote. And I think it's like this. I think what this time most black people think. Democrats say everything that you want to hear. They say all the good things. You can get free this. You can get free that. You can get free that. Well, all behind that free and great stuff is all the taxes you're going to have to pay, all the prison reforms you ain't going to get, all the people going to jail. It's under that, but they say everything you want to hear. They are secretly evil. Well, I feel like what a lot of Republicans will black people feel, they just going to outright say that shit. They going to outright say, we're not doing this. We're not illegal immigrants. You have to come in here properly. Blacks, you got to do this. You got to do this. And you know what? That's looked at as bad because they're just telling us how they feel. Wow. Democrats is more like, we're going to tell you everything you want to hear, but secretly, we don't like you either. It's kind of like you can pit in the argument of, would you rather deal with an openly racist person who just says it to you or a secretly racist person? I feel like most people will probably most people will go with the secretly racist person. But you know what? I'll go to an openly racist person because at least they tell me how they feel. So the thing is, I think that's my analogy. That's why I think what comes with Republicans and Democrats. It's openly and secretly. about how they feel, man. Uh, you know, and black people, I found out the issue. We really got to start doing more of our research and stop always going off emotions with these candidates. And say, man, he says that, I agree with him. Do you know how much that's going to cost or pay for you to even get that or do that or this? Like, I want black people to really look at reparations. Do you really think they're going to do that? Like, honestly, believe. Number one, do you really think they're gonna do? Number one, the United States is always $1 trillion in taxes. I mean, in debt. You really think they're gonna pay your black ass? Be honest with you. Come on, for what? You know, and how they gonna do the research that you even deserve that? I mean, I just don't think with the reparations, it's impossible. You know, so yeah. But one more thing before I go. You know, my topic is illegal immigrants, man. I kind of agree with that. I think what the U.S. needs to do right now is focus on getting health care for Americans in the country first, because that's a growing problem. People's on these co-pays and premiums and can't get health care. You know, I mean, for a little while, my family struggled to get health care. That's a problem when we live in this country. I was born, everybody in my family was born in this country. That's a problem. But you talk about giving it to illegal immigrants who crossing here illegally. That's the issue. I think it's with this. Instead of automatically giving illegal immigrants with open health care and freedom, all that, let's make it easier to get in this country instead of let's just openly let them in. No, because that's always going to be an issue. Find out a way to where it's easier access where they can get into this country easier. That's in my opinion, you know. So you can start taxing.
Why and what do you think should be the process to make it easier for them to get into the country, and why?
Well, you know, I've heard so many stories about people saying that shit, the process is hard. That they check this, they give you an education test, and when you come from a lot of these countries, I feel like what? This is how I feel like, Honcho. I feel like it should be steps to get into this country. I'm talking about months. Make it to where people who don't have the best education can go out there and get schooling. They have like schooling for people who are coming from Mexico and these different other countries who don't have the best education system. So when they get ready to take these tests to get into America, they're educated enough to know the laws. Don't let them just go in there oblivious, don't know nothing, and they get irritated when they have to go back to their country. So, what instead they do? They come here illegally, and that causes a whole issue. I thought I'd find out a way to get in touch with Mexico, these different countries, to fund this, and to ways people can get in this country, I feel like legally, but that's how I feel with that. Probably where it is probably some issue with what I said, but I personally think that would work. How you feel, Honcho?
Well, one, if they try to, make a direct connection with some of these countries and say, hey, let's make it easier for your people to become citizens of America. Well, aren't these people losing out on, money that they could be taxing their own citizens? So I don't know how much.
I was just thinking that. That's what I mean. It sounds good what I say, but I know what the issue. But I was just thinking that while I was saying that. So, this is why politics is all over the place. It's always if or and they ain't gonna work. I mean, no bill is perfect, So, like I said, politics, Democrats and Republicans, man, the hell with both of them, bro. I gotta live me, but that's my call, man.
All right, Roman, appreciate it, man. Vote Roman in 2020. I feel you. Appreciate your call.
Yeah, man. Vote for me 2020. Vice President gonna be Ed Honcho, man.
Nah, you ain't putting me in no office.
But you want to take a cabinet? I could pitch you U.S. Department of Energy, Department Homeland.
The Department of the Den is where.
All right, fine. I got you at Department of the Den, man. That's my call, though.
All right, Roman, appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Done.
What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Honcho, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's prepaid, man. I'm in the gym. Let me go somewhere and get a little quiet. I'm trying to lose this dad bod, baby.
Hey, but they said dad bods are in. That's what the media want to tell you. Or they just setting another low bar for people?
Dad bod's only in if you got some money, y'all. Don't listen to that bullshit. If you broke, you need to get into the gym and lose some fucking weight. Get you some money. You can have the biggest stomach in the world. I ain't gonna need all 10 minutes. We can go and jump in this shit real fast.
Really?
For all you niggas who got mad at me when I said y'all wouldn't get reparations, y'all 2-part debate. reparations wasn't mentioned not one time, and I told you that was gonna happen. Because maybe this time y'all can listen to me and finally open y'all eyes. The black vote is already accounted for. They getting y'all vote regardless. The focus now is about the illegal immigrants. That's all the focus is now. It done shifted. They don't need niggas alone. We're gonna get y'all vote. 95 to 98% of y'all we'll get y'all vote regardless of the fact. So don't ask about the reparations. We ain't gonna talk about it. I don't talk about it. We ain't gonna talk about the violence in our communities. We ain't gonna talk about none of that shit. The funny part about the debate was, and I've been working, so I ain't chance to really talk about this, but it was so funny how Kamala Harris jumped out there and went for the emotion first. She called Joe Biden a racist. Now the funny part is if y'all open y'all eyes up, y'all should have heard Joe Biden's response to it. He called her a cock. Now, I don't know about y'all. I've been called a lot of bad things in this world. I ain't never been called a cock.
Not until recently, I was a CIA agent, so that what got me a little bit. But yeah, for about a good 33 years, I was good.
The CIA agents actually ranked higher than the cop. What he's insinuating to is how Kamala Harris threw all the niggas in prison and wouldn't let them out and voted no to give anybody any type of prison reform. She don't want no parts of that shit. So for black people, maybe now y'all can start seeing it for y'all self. I've been seeing this shit. They don't care about us. And as long as y'all keep voting for their ass, they ain't gonna never care. See, the move right now is the illegals. Because the illegals are untapped market. The illegals can be the key to getting Trump up out of here is what they believe. And see, what they doing is, Honcho, and no one's catching on to it, what they doing is the left has moved so far left, it's going to push Democrats who even got a little bit of sense, they're going to vote for Trump this time. That's what's going this is what's going to do it. I'm going to tell you the reason why it's happening. See, Tulsi Gabbard had a lot of great things to say, but they don't want nothing to do with Tulsi. Because Tulsi's not going to sit up here and say we finna give illegal immigrants health. Motherfuckers, we gonna get niggas who ain't supposed to be here health care. We can't even get the motherfuckers here health care. See, it don't make any sense. So she ain't gonna raise her hand for that. Andrew Yang, another person who I feel like Democrats should be riding for, they cut that nigga mic off. Mm-hmm. See, the people who actually be progressive and actually come together with policy that can actually help y'all motherfucking ass out, they don't want no parts of these people. No parts of it. And then for those of y'all who Kamala got y'all mind all fucked up, just wait. Give it about the next two debates from the next to the top and sleep with that married man. That's when shit finna get real ugly. That's why I don't focus on Democrats. They finna cannibalize themselves. I promise you. They're about to eat each other apart. I guarantee it. It's finna get ugly to the point in all these people who kind of like, man, I don't fuck with Trump. But the nigga's only person who got half a sense, like half a brain, I'm probably going to vote for him. And watch how it emerges out of nowhere. Just watch how people be like, man, I don't want to vote for Trump. I don't fuck with him. But, God, he's the only person that even makes any sense at this point. How you going to take care of a motherfucker in America? This is the funny part. If America didn't have no homeless people, if America had free health care, I could understand motherfuckers going to say, yeah, all the illegals, they should be able to enter. We should be able to provide for them. We don't have none of that shit. And Houston got homeless people under every last freeway. You go on 288, homeless people. 59 below 59, homeless people. 610, homeless people. Atlanta got so many homeless people. I was out there just giving away money. Just here you go, bro. Fuck here, bro. Here, bro. Here, bro. You can't leave out of a restaurant in Atlanta without a motherfucker asking for your food. It's so many homeless people. See, these are the things that are happening in America. We don't want to talk about it. It seems like it's unpatriotic. See, black people, we get made fun of for loving America like we not from here. Yet we gonna come out here and fight for the rights of legal motherfuckers. Fuck out. And man, but Roman, let me tell you something. You said that Republicans are racist in private and Democrats and Republicans and Democrats are racist in secret. Let me tell you something. I want to be very clear on this. I don't give a fuck about no illegal immigrant. Period. I don't care where you from. I'm American. I've been American my whole motherfucking life. If the motherfuckers living here ain't got free health care, why the fuck would I care about another person who can't wants to come to this country and use all the fruits of our labor? You American, bro. Stand up for being American. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because guess what? If you went to their country, you're going to need an ID. You're going to need a passport. You need all kind of shit. You're going to need a visa. And the bad part about motherfucking security, because when they find out you're American and you walk around, they're going to fuck around and kidnap your ass. You're gonna get robbed. Voter ID is racism. No, bitch, it's called having an ID. Everybody needs one. You got one, don't you? So why the fuck they can't get one? If you can't get an ID, you don't need to vote. Point blank, period. So, in my personal opinion, I think this is going to be a very big election, not for Democrats or Republicans. It's going to be a very big election for black people, because now y'all can finally see that these Democrats don't give a shit about you. 2 days of debates, not a single motherfucker mentioned reparations. Y'all should be pissed, because y'all just knew y'all could get some free money. It ain't happening, baby. The gay reparations gonna come before the black reparations. I'm gonna get my cut. I know what my bread buttered at. The gays gonna get their money. I'm gonna get my cut with them.
Yeah, look, Elizabeth Warren say that's who needed. They because they couldn't get married, so they need to get they reparations. We were
and they still ain't getting married. And they still not getting married. And before I get out of here, I want to make you laugh, Honcho. Right. AOC and the little I don't know her name, the little Muslim girl, yelling about there is no crisis at the border. Yeah. What's her name?
Ilhan Omar, or something like that.
Yeah, the one that married her brother so he can come into this country. Yeah, that disgusting shit. So it was no crisis at the border. AOC go down there and do a photo shoot, and now all of a sudden they concentration camps. Now how the fuck does this work?
That's why. But you saw the photo shoot, right? Because it was an empty parking lot.
So what was she looking at? What was she looking at? What was so sad about it? What was so sad about the shit? An empty parking lot broke your heart, bitch?
Yeah, craziness.
That's the wild part. That's the wild part of this whole thing. You sit up here and you are completely against us funding anything dealing with the border, but then you go down here and do a photo shoot with you wearing all white with some Gucci boots. Yeah. Get your ass out of here.
Have you seen the little? It's a little girl on Twitter look just like AOC, but she mocks like everything AOC does. They call her mini AOC, and she went.
She has me in tears.
Man, she went to that fence and did the same thing. Was talking about when the playground empty or some shit. I forgot what she called.
Oh my God, she had me when I seen that shit at work. It had me in tears, Honcho. I'm talking about I was in fucking tears. I said, this is some funny shit here, man. So if nothing else, man, I'm not gonna hold you too much longer, Honcho. If nothing else, man, black people, I hope that now y'all starting to see this ain't about us, man. I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm telling you, this ain't about us at all. So it is what it is. Y'all be blessed. Y'all fuck with me.
Already prepaid. Appreciate the call, man.
All right.
Man, regardless if you like AOC, y'all gotta see mini AOC. That shit is hilarious. I don't give a shit about Mitch McConnell. But I'd rather somebody be blunt and straight up about how they feel than, hit you with the what is it, the horse and the carrot. You know what I'm saying? To lead you somewhere and sell you those wolf tickets, and they have no intentions of doing that. You know what I mean? And the thing about that is, like I say, it's a long bow, bang bow. And welcome everybody who's joining the conversation. But yeah, man, it's crazy. That's the funny thing about it, that we were talking about that the other day when we were discussing debates. You had all this pre-debate talk, reparations were a thing, in Congress they talking about it, the Judiciary Committee, everybody just having these discussions, and the only person who came remotely close to saying something about giving y'all some money, they cut his mic off, man. Gang. So all I'm saying, man, my thing is this, and it's not, it's like, it would be a different conversation if Republicans were saying, hey, well, we're going to give, black people this specifically. We're going to do this for you specifically. Man, I'm going to be honest, like, again, and I'm not really, like I said, I like to think I'm more independent. I try to just look and see what makes sense. I don't really have a dog in the fight. It's just who makes the most sense. Like I said, to me, I think Tulsi makes a lot of sense, being a veteran and having a better understanding of a lot of things than other people. But again, like, what would happen? They put her to the edge of the stage. She got maybe, what did they say, like 3.5 minutes of talking time. They compared how everybody had talking time. I think she only had a little bit. Yang, I think, had the least. Then Of course, Biden had the most. I think it was Kamala right after, because Biden had like 12 minutes. I think Kamala had like 11 something. Bernie was right after her. You know, you get these people getting 10, 12, minutes, and a lot of other people not even getting 5 minutes of speaking. So what is that telling you? You think they're telling me you're saying that's a even playing field? You know, that's with some of them speaking up and even interrupting and doing all of this. If you're telling me that this is an even playing field that they're coming out on, absolutely not. They already know who they want to win. They already know who they are pushing towards the forefront. And again, like I say, there's already an agenda. They gonna let y'all play around. They gonna let some of these other candidates come in. Yeah, you guys can hang out with us, but when it's time to get serious, well, you gotta know when to hold them. You gotta know when to fold them. And it's over with, man. It's over with. Yeah, this Kentucky, my home Monica. Yeah, they was over there speaking Spanish. Look, they could at least sold y'all a wolf ticket. Somebody could have spoke some, could have did the AOC and undid some urban vernacular. They could have been saved. Dog, it's going down. But they didn't even give you that, man. And that's all I'm saying is this. But let's get into the issue. And why I asked this is another reason, because let's talk about, a lot of the callers have made a point about, immigration. How does openly embracing illegal immigrants and saying, hey, well, we're not going to do this, we're just going to let them into the communities, we're just going to give them free health care and all these other things, would those not be things that, say, instead of reparations, that would benefit the black community? You're talking about blacks in general have a lower lifespan. Well, would better health care improve that? Why not? When you bring in illegal immigrants, let them take certain jobs, we can say, oh, well, niggas ain't gonna work those jobs. This is true. Certain niggas ain't gonna work those jobs. But then, like Lockwood said a couple of calls back a couple of days ago, he said, hey, well, man, you would make these companies have to up the wages that they're paying for some of these jobs. And then, it would attract more workers. Those opportunities would come, when you're offering these benefits to people who aren't even citizens of this country, how is that helping people who most people consider to be on the bottom rung? I don't think that, I think that we have a bad habit of associating poor with black, because not all black people are poor. Not all black people are broke. But we have a bad habit of doing that. But, for those that are, how is that impacting the people on the lowest rung of society, And, what do you say? Does Lady Honcho watch the Den? Every now and then she'll go back and watch old dens. Or sometimes. Not too much. Time to time, every now and then. Yeah, they'll never say that though. They're not gonna say that. And that's why I say it's gonna be interesting, because Prepaid made a very good point, and I think it's gonna be extremely interesting. Right now, y'all notice on the first debate, what did I tell y'all? That everybody was playing too nice, right? That everybody was playing too nice, right? And I said, you got 20-something candidates. You got to start culling the herd. You got to start chopping some heads, Here's the thing, and this is what I say, not one of those candidates look like, when it comes down to it, when it's time for them to have that one-on-one debate with Trump, none of those candidates look ready. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, Biden, he says crazy stuff. But what's going to happen is Kamala's going to press that racist card on, that's some of my eye. She's going to press that racist card on Biden as these future conversations go. She's going to try to undermine, because he's the front runner right now, so they're going to try to undermine him. Bernie's not going to win. They just letting Bernie play along. Bernie has cool toys, so Bernie can play. He can come to the court because he got the basketball, so they'll let him play because it's his basketball. But they don't want Bernie to win. They're going to do Bernie they'll do Bernie the exact same way again, and fry him. Okay, so Bernie's not going to win it. But Kamala's going to try to undermine Bernie, because now she went from, I think, fourth or fifth to now she's a strong third, they're saying, after her performance. When if anybody should be, Tulsi should be in that conversation. But again, she didn't get the right to talk. They didn't give her the privileges. She didn't have an amazing integration story. I was that little black girl on the bus that you oppressed. But Then you're gonna have Biden hitting her with more cop conversation. He's gonna start pulling up her past records on, how she handled things in Cali and as far as arresting folks and being a prosecutor, then that's gonna undermine some of her beliefs or some of her constituents. And then Bernie's just gonna be standing there still saying the weird old Bernie stuff that he says. And then while they're destroying each other, like I say, you're not going to have anybody contesting Trump. Everybody already knows what Trump is. People are going to be looking at it like, man, all these candidates are terrible. And I agree with Prepay that I think more people are going to start leaning, you know what? I never considered it before, but I think I'm going to vote Trump. I think that Trump is going to have a bigger victory, a bigger margin of victory this time than he did last time. Because Hillary Clinton was a well-known name, household name, and even with everything else that went around, she still had a relatively solid base. I think people just hated Hillary for who she was. I don't think it was because she was a woman. I think people just did not like Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just what it is, man. But here's the deal. I believe everybody spends, but the Republicans, in my opinion, is that they're not making these promises to black people. What are the Republicans tell you? Hey, look, man, y'all fuck with us, y'all might get something. Y'all gonna learn something. The Democrats are telling y'all, look, we're gonna give you this. We're gonna get it right for you. We're gonna figure it out. I honestly believe that black people are more conservative as a whole, but for some reason lean Democrat. Like I really do. I think most black people don't have an issue with gun ownership. A lot of these identity politics that are being pushed, I don't think you got a big segment of the younger generation that is, but I don't think a lot of black folks, but I don't know, because I think things are changing. But a lot of black folks traditionally weren't with the LGBT thing. Traditionally, they used to be more family oriented, used to be more family values, traditionally used to be more Christian or religious or however you want to look at it. Now things have changed. I think the more that the Democratic Party has gotten their hands into the community, I think it has changed a lot. But I believe that black folks were much more traditionally conservative minded, but for some reason always went with the other party. So that's kind of my issue, man. Yeah, and I mean, and let's talk about that too, because this is my thing with Hillary, with Biden, and all that. These people actually passed legislation, like names on the legislation that hurt black people, that criminalize black people, super predators. They outright said it. When did you hear them apologize for it? Right when they needed your vote, not when they said, "Hey, we're in office, we realize what's going on here." And it wasn't even the first go round. Shit, Hillary lost to Obama that first time. She called him a super predator, goddamn it. She didn't apologize for that shit until she just assumed she was going to be, hey, just Sarah, what's the motherfucking deal? She didn't apologize for that shit until she thought basically the office was hers. No way that Trump is going to beat me. And, you know what I'm saying? She was like, she started that shit, super predators. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop with the nonsense. We're willing to overlook that just because we hate the word conservative and we hate the word Republican for some reason. And I don't understand. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just asking questions. These are my observations as a slightly biased observer. So that's all I'm curious. No, you know what I'm saying? I'm curious as to how that works, right? Oh my goodness, Hillary's, maybe that's terrible. Hillary got hot sauce for y'all. Would y'all buy some Hillary Clinton hot sauce? If Hillary Clinton said, you know what, fuck this politics shit, I'm finna start slanging hot sauce. Would y'all buy that shit? Quick, we ain't done a quick poll in a few days. Give me a 0 for a no, a 1 for yes. If Hillary Clinton starts slanging hot sauce, Hillary's hot sauce, would y'all buy that shit? Well, I'm just trying to figure out why she can't. She's been all over the world. She's got the name. I want to pick the wrong shit. Y'all wouldn't fuck with the Hillary hot sauce, man. Y'all hate. Y'all don't want to see Hillary win. Y'all don't want to see her winning in the political game. Y'all don't want to see her winning in the culinary game. Y'all don't. Man, what is in my eye? got some chicken grease or something in my eye. But, you know, yeah, man. What'd you say? The hot sauce got the 3 strikes rule attached to it? You eat that shit 3 times, you out. Damn. Frank's, you put that shit on everything. Man, I don't know what is going on here. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what is happening in here. My eye's about to fall out. It's all good though. So, okay, but I want to know. I mean, what else is on your mind? I mean, let's get some calls here. I want to know what y'all feeling. I want to know what y'all are thinking. You know, I want someone who, because it seems like the last few calls we've had. I wouldn't say, you know, well, Chill said, you know, he's independent. Roman is little by little working his way from the left side to he's I think Roman's somewhere in the middle right now. But I think Roman before the 2020 election. When the den keeps on going, before the 2020 election, Roman is going to be a staunch conservative. He is going to be a renegade. Thank you, Ms. Lakeisha. Hopefully you can join us. We go live every evening at 10 p.m. Central, and we're every weekday, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Central. So we cover a variety of topics and lots of different things. So hopefully you can continue to join us. I think we have a friendly little toxic community here. We're all friends in the den. Sometimes we beef a little bit, but it's all love. I think we got a very good community here. I think y'all are all special people. The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. No, I have not seen that. Let me jot that down. I'm just curious. I would like to see, you know, and I guess Roman in a way kind of defended the Democratic City. You know, he prefer, you know, that he thinks that people prefer the covert over the overt. All right. You know. What? Who got a mental illness? Nah, no way. Do I? I might. I'm a little bit crazy. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. So, you know, there's that. No, I don't think I said that though. Oh, we're all special people. Oh, well. No. I didn't say special needs, just special people. we might all be a little thrown off. Maybe that's why we get along for the most part. We might all just be, crazy. Real crazy people don't know that they're crazy, right? So we might be the crazy corner of the internet and don't even know it. You know, we might think we own something. We might just all be crazy. Who knows? Did you just assume my mental health? Did I ignore you? Let me see. Oh. Shout out to Jess Sarah. Yes, I am a reformed Sancho. Shout out to Jess Sarah. Thank you, Miss Jess Sarah. Dropping some Benjamin Love in the den this afternoon. Yes, I am an ex-Sancho. I used to be a Jody, but I have reformed in my ways. I am born again. I do not participate in those sins of the flesh. Shame on all of you that do. I'm looking down on you and I'm condemning you. And nah, I'm just don't fuck with y'all. You know, it's all love in the den. I ain't judging nobody. It's all love. But I am ex-Sancho. I don't participate in the deviant behaviors anymore, to my knowledge, unless I sleepwalk or something. But what you were saying, you said do a stream called, let me see, My Truth. Man, look, I'm telling y'all, hey, it's gonna be some of those conversations on the Patreon. I gotta upload that PDF to the Patreon for those videos that I did for y'all. But I definitely get slightly more opinionated, you know. Not too much. I don't have anything against it. Y'all assume that I have something against gay people. I have no issues with gay people as long as they don't infringe upon my personal space, my well-being, my rights. I have no problem. Just like I sit down and have a conversation with anybody else, I have no judgments for people. I may not agree with your lifestyle. I may not agree with certain behaviors in which you engage in, but that doesn't mean I hate you. I don't approve of your actions, but that doesn't mean I don't approve of you or I don't think you should exist. Like, I'm trying to get better about, attacking actions and ideas as opposed to people. But sometimes you just kind of lump. Speaking of actions and ideas, I'm lying because fuck that motherfucker who licked that goddamn that ice cream. She got a felony charge for that shit. And I'm glad. I hope they throw her ass away for fucking life. I told y'all about that last night before I got on the stream because I wanted to give me a fucking ice cream last night, and the fucking chick, she went into the freezer case, and apparently this is some type of stupid ass Twitter channel. So now you don't even fucking know. Licked the fucking gallon of ice cream and put it back in there. Disgusting motherfucker. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon? Hello. Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Lockwood.
Oh, Lockwood, man. Good to hear from you. What's on your mind, Lockwood?
Yeah, I wanted to say, you were talking last night and you mentioned alcoholism among Native Americans.
Yes.
And I talked to a guy one time. He is admittedly still, he's left the reservation and had 2 kids and a wife and everything. He's working. But he was telling me when he was on the reservation, they sit around, they're out in the country, not in town, they're out in the country. They don't have cars. They don't have jobs. They get paid something from the government that's enough to survive. And there's like a store, either somebody comes out with stuff or there's a store, but they don't have much. So like drinking alcohol is one of the few things they can do, He said he used to, when he got to a certain age, he moved out of his parents' thing into a little shack in the back. He claimed that his reservation didn't even have electricity. I Googled that, and there were supposedly some in the country, at least back when he was young, that didn't even have electricity. So I mean, they're sitting out there in the boonies, on some small stipend with nothing to do. So I kind of, I guess it's easy to just drink.
So that's interesting. Do you think them not having electricity? Do you think that's just is it supposed to be as close to, I guess, how it originally was? Is that the reason why? Do you think they just didn't go out there and lay down a grid, or what do you think that had to do with them not having electricity? Just are they getting closer to their ancestors, or just kind of how it was?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's a minority. They may all have it now. It's just what he said, but which makes it worse. I guess I don't think that's typical. And probably the reason it didn't have it was just because somebody was too cheap to pay the money to get it out there.
Yeah.
They probably didn't have. I mean, even the ones that have electricity probably don't have cable, and I mean, it's not a situation where they can keep themselves busy. They need a car and a job to get into town and stuff, and they don't have either in a lot of cases.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
I think he said that some of the people at the reservation did have jobs, but most of them were just there all the time, and sometimes a bus would come by and take them into town if they so desired or whatever. Anyway, that's all I know about that. I didn't talk to him too long or too much.
That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up, see how what has changed and kind of what's going on with that situation. I think the last thing I saw it was I think a law enforcement encounter on one of those reservations. I can't remember if it was a woman that got shot or something. Something was going on, but I think it was alcohol fueled, and there was a bit of a problem. Some kids were involved or something. I can't remember what it was. It was probably about 6 to 8 months ago when I saw it. So, but yeah, that's definitely interesting. I definitely want to look into that.
But on this subject of Democratic Party and the black voters, since all those candidates went and sat next to Al Sharpton and pledged that they would go for reparations, I think people need to start making some noise. You know, like you pointed out, they didn't mention it at the debates. You know, what happened there? Somebody should talk to Al Sharpton. He's on MSNBC all the time.
I don't know what it is. I wouldn't want to talk to Al, but yeah, you know, if you're going to align yourself with him, somebody needs to get Al involved, I guess.
I mean, I see him on MSNBC. I know when they had that black conservative group go to the White House, Al Sharpton was on NBC. It went viral. He was saying they were paid to go there and stuff. So I mean, he's out there. They had to hit him with the question, why didn't it come up? And all those guys that pledged, he should make some quotes out there, get some TV time, and bring it back up if he really cares about it and really thinks they were sincere.
No, Al got his check already. He don't care. He ain't getting a reparations check, but he got his check for his services. Now Al, he's on to the next thing, man. Al don't give a shit. Al is over there looking like a fucking alien. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I prefer Fat Al over New Al. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, I don't think Al gives a shit again. He's one of those people I put in that category of poverty pimps. You know, yeah, I'll come out here and say some shit, but I don't really give a fuck. He's just about the advancement of himself. He's not about the advancement of colored peoples.
Yeah, he probably knows that if he did start talking about it, he wouldn't be on the show anymore either. They cut his mic, and Al had to leave us tonight. Sorry.
Make him to Andrew Yang. Yeah.
So, but I mean,
huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just laughing. What were you saying?
Well, I was going to say it does seem that Hispanics, since they're larger, now are the favored minority group for the Democrats. So the black people need to make sure their voice is heard. You know, don't. I mean, I'd be forcing these candidates all the way to the election and beyond to talk about stuff. If it's not reparations, they should be talking about, you know, fixing up Chicago and places like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the very least, is improving the communities in which you live in. But again, like I say, you know, it's I don't know. Again, like I say, I don't understand what the people want. I know, you know, my personal views, but it seems like most people don't agree with that, you know, and it's certain stuff. I think there's so many different factions within the conversation that people don't want to address, or they deliberately ignore, that, you know, there's never really going to be any real progress. And I think that people know that they don't have to make any real progress. They can just say some things, and, you know, as long as it makes you feel good about them saying it, then they've done their job. They don't really have any intentions of helping out the situation.
Yeah, I guess part of that is because they know they can get away with it right after they're in office. Yeah. People kind of forget too.
Yeah. You know, again, like you said, nobody's holding anybody accountable. They're not making any noise about it. And like Prepay said earlier, I mean, they already got your vote. They feel like, well, your vote's already accounted for. They don't even care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's all I got. Yeah. I think I speak for a lot of your listeners, though, when I say, go Raiders. Just win, baby.
No, don't tell me. I don't think we got to see y'all this year, too. I think we play the Raiders this year, too. Oh, it's going to be some beef in the Den this year. When football season comes, the Den is going to be a terrible place. Oh, it's going to be bad.
Actually, I'm just pulling your leg. I actually don't follow NFL. I've been getting into on YouTube the LFL.
Yes. That's quality football. I don't know, people are saying, oh, you just want to see, you know, the women running around scantily clad. Yes, I do, but it's good football. Okay, so why can't I enjoy the best of both worlds? So don't hate a man for being a man. He's loving his football and loving the lingerie. But yeah, I think that.
So the quarterbacks have the biggest difference, right? Their arms are not that good, but some of those little running backs hitting the hole, I mean, they just look like they're ready for Alabama or something. But the thing is, the league is like on its last legs. They only have one game a week in the whole league.
Whoa, that's terrible. That makes me very upset because they were supposed to be getting a Houston team here, and I do South Sports where I do the Houston conversation, and I was looking forward to covering that. Like I was determined to be the primary source of the LFL in Houston. Like I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm getting in that locker room. So I'm already me too. I lost my opportunity now. Great, thanks, Honcho. But definitely. I think it's solid. I wish more people would embrace that. Because it's not bad football. I think it provides opportunity for women who want to get in the sport. Now you got a lot of these little local underground football leagues for women. Some of those women are aggressive. Some of them are rough. Some of them are a little mannish, but hey, I don't think I want to see too many of them in lingerie. But that's maybe they can do some shorts or something for some of them. But I think that it's a quality league, and I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that develop. I think it's better than the WNBA personally. So
Yeah, it's more fun to watch in the WNBA. I think it's funny. The women are like the NFL cheerleaders. They move to different cities to play, even though they're making peanuts, So they just enjoy doing it.
I understand. I think that, but what's going to happen if it got too big? There's going to be a particular group of women who's going to say, "Oh, these women are being violated and oppressed, and their rights are being stepped on." Even though these women enjoy playing the sport and they enjoy what comes with it, but you'll have that group of folks who come in and try to ruin it for them, and that's unfortunate.
Well, they could wear different use. They had pants last year. I don't know why they went back to the whatever they call them. Some of the women wear shorts underneath the whatever the regular thing is. But anyway, I'd like to. I just happened to get a YouTube recommendation and got into it.
Hey,
I sent a link to my brother. I said I'm starting to get back into the game because he's a huge NFL fan. He watches the NFL channel.
Yeah.
And then he wrote back, "You made a fan out of me because I."
But I like because they be talking shit. Those women talk big boy shit. They on that mother. They talk a lot of trash. So I definitely enjoy it. So I like good old trash talk. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, well send me that link if you get a chance, Locke. But I may need to do some research. I may be out of date. I may need to do some research.
All right.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Huh?
All right, later.
All right, appreciate your call, man. Shout out to Locke. I like Locke. Seems like a very intelligent gentleman. Hey. What y'all are not gonna do is going to oppress the women who want to play football in lingerie. I'm not gonna stand for it. I'll sit for it and watch the game, but I'm not gonna stand for it. Yeah, culture, man. That one, there was a while back. I forgot who did. I can't remember if it was James Harden or Jay Bird or one of them motherfuckers. It was a stream that I did with Man Up a while back, and yeah, that phrase. It took me a second to catch on what was going on, but I think they got Mr. Man Up on that one, and then he caught on the next week. Like, nah, I ain't saying that shit again, because I didn't realize until it was said. I was like, oh, shenanigans. But yeah, man, I think that it's tough. I think it's real tough. And shout out to Culture Bay, drop some Digimons in the deal. Man, yeah, I think again, I try to have patience, Miss D. Nelly. But then when I get off the stream, I talk shit about everybody. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. A little bit. No, I'm not. No, I don't know. No, but I think to me, like I'll be honest, like for me, it's a learning interaction. And again, like I just like to know how people feel. Again, like I said, whether I disagree or not, we all have to operate in the same society. And I think it's very important to understand how people feel and why. And I think tolerance is important. We can argue, we can disagree, we can, sometimes we can fight. You know, like we can take this outside and go fight. But nah, I just think it's important to hear how people feel, because I think when we get in those echo chambers, it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's an issue when you only hear one side of things for the most part, and then you hear somebody come out of nowhere and say something, you just lose your shit because you've never heard anybody say that. I think that, you know, you get a better understanding, and a lot of different perspectives has helped me understand why people feel the way they do. Come on, another thing you have to understand is that we don't all have the same experience, whether it's by race, whether it's by sex, whether it's by sexual orientation, whether I don't know if y'all caught what I said there, but it's super funny. It's all these things are different. You know what I'm saying? And we can be on the same page up until a certain point, and then we separate. Yeah, that was unexpected. Yes, I definitely support the trans community, public transit community. Yes, I do. Yeah. You say we have to set higher standards for kindness when evil physically destroys lives. How can words be kind? Interesting. Heidi the heathen. These are facts. Heidi is also artificial intelligence. Heidi has been so many things in this den. It is terrible. But, you know, the LGBT community, that's what I was saying earlier before the call came in. I have no issue with that, even though beyond the funny nigga swears up and down that I do not like particular people, right? I don't hate anybody. I do not hate anyone. We need to talk about hate. Hate is very important. I don't hate anybody, because I think hate is a different thing. Hate, if you really say you hate something, that means you're willing to enact a level of violence upon something. Honestly, I don't think most people have propensity for violence. I think a lot of people talk a lot of shit, but I don't think a lot of people really got it in them. I mean, they may get triggered if they feel like, you know, they're getting threatened, but I don't think a lot of people have the capability for violence, you know. And when I go back to this, when I say we're looking at some of this stuff that happened with this Antifa stuff, and it's unfortunate for the people who are getting attacked, but taco trucks on every corner. They have to move and meet and greet to the Southgate now out in Cali. Hey man, look. I mean, we can bring it to the Texas. Hey, we can look. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Where I'm at, let me see. I gotta drive a couple of miles before I see a taco truck. A few miles in either direction, because usually it used to be one at every gas station back where I was. But now, I don't. They're not as prevalent. But if I've been a couple of corners, I can find some. But hey, I'm all about the taco trucks. I'm all about the taco trucks. But would you hug and kiss a gay lesbian? We can have a firm handshake. A very firm handshake. Full extension, as far as I can get. How are you doing? You know. You know, that's as cool as we can get. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this, but hate, you have to have a propensity for violence. But I was talking about the Antifa thing, and if you look at it, those people aren't really, there's a lot of cowards out there. And it's funny because it's a lot of weird conversations going on that side. But if you look at how they attack, right? Look at how they attack. Look at the body language from the attacks. They're like hesitant to do it. They don't have real malicious intent. Half of them are doing it because they see somebody else kind of do it. You ever think about like the person whenever like somebody gets like jump somebody, right? Most of the people don't want that initial action. Most of the people don't want to be the initiator of that, okay? It's usually that first guy that sets it off, and then you got a bunch of little hyenas. That's what it is, hyenas. They're not lions. They're not tigers. They're not the real. They're not bears. I'm gonna say it: lions, tigers, and bears. The real aggressors of the animal kingdom. They're the scavengers, and that's what a lot of these people are. They're scavengers, and they kind of prey off somebody after they've already fallen and oh my, you know, again, like I said, you look at a lot of these attacks. They're limp-wristed, swinging, and all that other weird shit they got going on. Boop, I hit you. It's real weak. It's some of the lamest shit I've ever seen in my life. They're attacking old men, little gauge. They're not really. The stuff that they. I bet. I don't know. I wouldn't say I bet. Yes, vultures. That's perfect. But again, like I say, they don't look at the majority of them. Even the people who do chime in on their little things, it's usually one aggressor, and then a lot of people who just try to sneak in a little hit, and then they run off. They scurry off, like not because they're afraid of law enforcement. They just scurry off because they're afraid of getting hit back. Like it's disgusting. You know what I mean? If you got a real malicious intent, don't be a follower. Handle up. If you got something that you, oh yeah, definitely. Of course they don't. Do you understand? If that, I was thinking about that. It was super funny. There will never be, unless you want to see a lot of people dead. If you want to see a lot of people dead, yeah, tell Antifa to come slide through Texas. It would be game over. Tommy's funny. Yeah, and that's, man, I'm glad you said, I was going to say that earlier. Like, that's why I say the they're not fighting me, the chipmunk. Palin, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Good to see you. But yeah, you know, that's what I say about the Democratic thing too. Y'all are willing to vote for Hillary after she raided the Haiti fund. How many houses they built? Half a house? They built an outhouse. That's all they built in Haiti. If that. They didn't even finish the outhouse. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, got all that money, but didn't build shit. Like, all the scandals are there. You know, people are mad because Donald Trump said what? You can't do any worse. Why not give me a shot? Well, I mean, how much worse could it be? But shout out to Thunderbolt too for dropping some dividends. Appreciate the love. You know, but people were mad at that. Well, what does he mean by that? Or because he said something about, I think they said he made a comment when he was passing through the hood, or impoverished neighborhood somewhere, I guess in New York. I want to say some black neighborhood. Said only black people can live like this. What's the first thing you hear come out of again, we got to separate blacks and niggas for a moment. Sometimes I know we use the term interchangeably. I know some of us don't use the term. But what's the first thing you hear a nigga say when you meet him? Man, my hood rough, man. I came from, you know, such and such. You know what I'm saying? It's an everyday thing. It go down out here. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They say the same shit, but when somebody looks a little different, would maybe not be from that environment, says the same thing, we get mad about it, right? Like, why? Why, when somebody kind of gives you a dose of reality from a different perspective, we get upset about it. But when we say the same stuff, we don't motherfucking me get to tripping. Yeah, man, you know, it's a rough neighborhood. You can't come through here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trapping out the bando. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've seen those whites on the trailer park. But what you got, but you ever see Bill Gates? Shit, you don't even see, have you seen Trump go to the trailer park? Trump ain't going to no trailer park. Hey, man, fuck that. Bill Gates, you don't see Bill Gates ripping the trailer park. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, it's just like, the thing about it is, we associate ourselves with that impoverished mindset. And it's bad. Like, yeah, if you come from that, not ever saying, hey, don't forget where you came from. Appreciate. To me, when you say don't forget where you came from, that means appreciate the blessings you have now and improve upon that. But don't wallow in the mud you got it up out of. See how I integrated that culture. But that's the thing, like, and I understand that you want to help people who are in those situations. I understand that completely. But if their mindset, no matter what the situation, if it's getting out of poverty, getting off drugs, getting out of a bad relationship, it says on lunch break, just wanted to put out there that black people have been mental slaves to the Democrats for years. Time to leave the plantation by Negro. Shout out to Dan Strong, man. Shout out to Dan Strong. And that's the thing, and that's all I'm trying to figure out is why Or are we so heavily attached to it? But why? What is it? Like, and that's what I'm kind of curious. I'm wanting somebody who may be leaning Democrat. And like I say, I understand. I think Ms. Meat was trying to call in earlier. I do believe that's the only person I know with that area code. But my thing is, like, why is the attachment so strong when you have blatant situations that have involved these people who are Democratic leaders, people that you're voting for? We can talk about the Biden situation. You can talk about the segregationists. We can talk about the bills that he enacted. We can talk about Hillary and all of it, but are more willing to vote and ignore that stuff. And they've done things, in my opinion, I feel are more recent, but will not tolerate any kind of anything from Republicans because they're not saying they're going to give you this, or because they're not addressing you directly. Why is it that Kamala is cool, but Ben Carson is not, right? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what is the difference? Why is it this way? And that's all I want to know. Iced coffee. Just drink some cold coffee. Just let it sit for a little bit, and you're good. And that's my curiosity, you know. Who said Ben Carson don't listen to Tupac? Please. Man. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's my thing, is like, and that's why I say I get bothered when I see, especially, you know, let me see who we got calling in. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Hey, it's Rashida.
Miss Rashida, what is on your mind? How are you feeling about today's topic?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Republican, Democrat. My life still gonna be the same. I'm still be fat. I'm still be black. I'm still be ugly. I'm still be lonely. So, you know, it don't do me no good, you know. So.
Well, what can the politician do to change that?
They can't do shit. It don't matter.
So, but why do you think that black people lean so heavily Democrat over
I
Republican?
think it's just a comfort thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got that old pair of shoes. You know it's time for change, but you just set in it. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to be bothered with trying to do nothing different. You know.
I understand that.
It's like I'm a Bulls fan right
Wow.
now. Even if another team come along, Chicago team come along doing better than the Bulls or whatever, I'm not finna jump ship because that's my team, you know. So I rock with them and I ride with them. So.
Well, Chicago's terrible. Their sports are terrible. So I guess you would.
Yeah, we got one of the worst sports teams ever.
But I mean, y'all had Jordan, and we can always go back to the past on Jordan. I mean, y'all still got that under your belt for at least another 5 years before this new generation has no idea who that is, but they'll still buy the shoes. So what do you think could be done to change that image, to change that perspective? Is it going to take a real dramatic situation, or do you think that it's already happening? Because you see people like Candace Owens and a lot of other black conservatives starting these movements, Blexit and Walk Away, and you know that's not just a black thing, but that are getting people to say, hey, look at what the Democrats are doing. Maybe we should look at the other side. Do you think that that's going to change anything?
No.
So you think
Look, people they vote based on their reality or their circumstance. If your circumstance is to where that a particular party has more of your interest in it, or you think they do, then that's how you gonna vote. People not necessarily voting what's best for black people or what's best for white people. They vote on what's best for themselves. And you will notice as a lot of black people income levels change, that of course they're gonna start to be more conservative or whatever, to where though that party is more for tax breaks and different things like that, where Democratic parties are more about helping the poor people and keeping the government programs intact and not having budget cuts and all that stuff.
What was that in the background?
What you say?
What's that I hear in the background? What's going on over there? We got some.
All them kids.
Okay. The little ones in for the summer.
In and out.
Okay. So, what about these candidates? Are you planning on voting in the next upcoming election?
Wait, say that again now.
So, are you planning on voting in the upcoming election?
Of course, I'm gonna vote. I vote every election.
Okay. So, is there a particular candidate that is actually saying something that you relate to, that you are kind of leaning towards?
I don't even listen to that shit until the end. Till it's time to vote. I pretty much catch the final debate between the Republican and the Democrat. So I haven't watched none of the Democratic debates. I haven't watched none of the Republican debates. So.
Okay.
And I kind of hate how people feel like just because, what's that lady name? Kamala,
Yes.
black. Then that means that black women gonna vote for her. That's bullshit. I'm not gonna just vote for her because she's black, a black woman. I hate how people act like black people don't have sense with their vote.
But have you seen a lot of people who are supportive? I've seen, and again, it could just be the area in which I'm looking, but I've seen a lot of people support her because they talk about, she listens to Cardi B and Beyonce. And these are the talking points that they have. And she dances at rallies. She's the stiffest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God. They like her because she says all this goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? The Tupac and the smoking weed and all of that shit. But people like that type of thing. Why do you think people? There are people who are very intelligent.
Shannon. I don't even think I'm voting for no Kamala Harris because I haven't even heard no good shit about her. So why would I use my vote to vote for her? Yeah. It makes no sense, and people just think just because you black, you don't know what to do with your vote. But that shit is absolutely ridiculous.
That's a lot of this younger generation, though, that relates to the bullshit that she's saying.
But that's not everybody.
But what I'm saying, the children are the future, right?
Look, black people are just as intelligent as every other race. I know how to listen to the damn issues and shit. I know how to make a vote. Shit.
But
I don't need anybody to tell me who the hell I need to vote for. I'm
not
vote
saying you.
who I want to vote for.
But what I'm saying is that there is a large contingent of people who are
no, everybody always worried about the damn black vote. It's a whole bunch of races out there. Worry about them other votes. Shit.
But why is it that our vote is so heavy in one way compared to everybody
because
else?
that's how we want the shit. People die for our right to vote, so we're going to use that shit how we want to. Voting is anonymous for a reason, but they always want to know how we vote. It ain't none of your goddamn business how we going to vote. We going to vote how we going to vote. And that's that.
But why hasn't those votes benefited us, do you think? Or do you think
we
that
ain't
they
got
have?
to explain shit to nobody about how we going to use our vote. It's ours, so we going to use it how we want to, period.
But do you think these votes are benefiting us?
Do y'all go put cameras in the white people's face asking them who they going to vote for and why they voting like that? No. Because if they did.
People know. We know how everybody votes for the most part.
Everybody in our goddamn business just nosy as hell. Man, y'all goddamn business.
So the last election,
every goddamn election, cameras in the black people.
The last election was a big election about the white people.
Go put their cameras in the other race place. See how they gonna vote.
The white women were the focus of last
goddamn election.
Because they were mad about Trump. People were mad about white women voting for Trump. So why were people so mad about white women voting for Trump last election? Because they were the heavy focus. A lot of people were upset with
I don't give a shit who nobody vote for. I just worry about myself and my vote. That's the problem. People too goddamn nosy. Man, you goddamn business sometimes.
But what I'm saying is, but do you think the way that
when you go to vote, you go to vote in a booth, right?
I vote.
You voting anonymous.
I do
you voting anonymous, right? When you're voting by mail, that means your vote is anonymous. That means it ain't nobody business.
I peek over the booth. I'm trying to see who they vote for. I'm looking. I'm finna be nosy. You know, I'm tall, so I'm looking over the booth.
I'm
I'm
not.
finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm pulling back curtains. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I go out there, I go to the booth in my drawers just to let people know I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I let them know what I'm about.
I mean, let me just tell you something. I don't give a shit. Republican, Democrat, I don't give a shit who wins. It ain't gonna change shit. Both sides pander to the other, whoever they voters are. So shit. But people make it like Democrats is so much worse than Republicans. Republicans pander too. Donald Trump still ain't built the damn wall.
Well, why haven't he
Come
built the
out.
wall?
I don't know. Shit, that between him and the wall people.
But who's stopping? Who's stopping it from building the wall, though?
But should nobody have stopped him from building the wall? That was one thing he said that was good as hell, good idea. Now that's one time I backed Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump had the right idea.
But again, so he hasn't tried to fight to get the funding for the wall that a certain group of people have been trying
But
to
he
stop
said,
him?
did he say Mexico was gonna fight, was gonna pay for it? Shit.
You know, well, you know, Mexico, they funds ain't right now. They, you know, they everybody getting over here, so they can't tax people so they can we can get the funds to build a wall. So you know, he was trying to circumvent, and then he was just gonna tax them later. It was gonna be like a layaway plan. You know what I'm saying? But you know, them folks, they
You
say,
know
nah,
what?
we can't
I'm more
do
in favor. I'm more in favor of the damn wall than I am of reparations. And I don't give a shit who called me a coon or whatever. I don't give no shit. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to fund the wall, fund the damn wall. If that's where y'all want to put some money at, put the damn wall up there.
So
Put
how's
the wall around the whole damn country. Keep everybody out.
even the Jamaicans like Kamala?
I said everybody. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. We don't need no more people over here. We already got people over here homeless. We ain't got no room for. I mean, you know, it's enough going on. Shit.
Okay. Dre say, hold on, you Canada. Can we include Canada in the borders of the wall, or they
Hell
blocked out?
no. Hell no. They took the damn championship over there. Fuck them. Fuck the Raptors. No.
Damn. Okay. So, okay, that's a very good point.
And Maria, remember that Canadian lady, Maria?
But Maria was my friend.
That was,
Y'all ran Maria
no,
off.
she was. Maria, fuck you too, okay? Maria, fuck your Canadian ass. I'm glad your ass ain't in here no more.
Maria was
You
my
was annoying
friend, man.
kid.
See, that was my friend. Y'all ain't want to see Maria winning. You
You
know.
dropped that hammer on her ass so quick. Stop the bullshit.
What? I was just trying to have a polite conversation with Miss Maria. There was just some misunderstandings that took place, and yeah, I had to do what I had to do. But that's a whole different conversation. Okay. So you say build a wall and just kind of work with what we got here, as far as try to rebuild the wall and then try to rebuild from the inside. Is that what you think fix the problems that we have here instead of being so focused on what's going on around the world?
But you know what? I wouldn't be against, so for the wall if we could handle the people that's over here. Like somebody said, that our homeless problem that we have over here already. We just don't have the resources, to accommodate everybody. It's better to try to make their place where they at better than everybody trying to come over here. Period.
So I know you say votes don't matter, no matter who they vote for, but I'm still going to ask you one more voting question.
Now, I didn't say folks. I said Rashida. I don't speak for folks. I speak for Rashida.
Okay, well, Rashida, I'm putting your name in on the ballot. I'm putting you in as a write-in candidate. I'm going to vote for you. But here's my thing. So, do you think that with the majority
Hey,
of
Dre,
black,
who you think gonna win the championship next year? Then, since you said it's gonna come right back.
I said, not with no Kawhi. Kawhi finna say bye-bye. But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. So do you think
As
that...
far as reparations, though, let me say this right quick, because you be talking a lot, and you make me forget things I wanted to say when I called in.
What? I would never do such a
I
thing.
wanted to say about the reparations. It's a nice thought and everything, but trying to implement that shit is gonna be a disaster. Like, who's gonna get it first? You know what I'm saying? What if they run out of money?
Me? I'm going to get
It has
mine
to be
first.
some kind of It had to be some kind of structure to it. And where's the money gonna come from? Tax dollars? People are already crying about the taxes they paying. Who's gonna pay more taxes to fund reparations? Come on now.
Okay, but if any reparations check something, I'm getting mine first. That's just how the rules work. I don't know who behind it, but Honcho first, and then if y'all don't get y'all, well, that's unfortunate. But
No, they need to set up reparation programs. That's the best way to do it. Every state, have break it down state to state, and they need to have a lot because everybody can't get it. I mean, they're talking about trillions of dollars, 47 trillion, I think, some shit like that, to pay out the reparations. That's unrealistic. That's unrealistic, and we already got a national debt of I don't know how much, but it's a lot. I mean, it don't make no sense to make these payments and then black people still gonna be in the same situation. We got to have some kind of structured programs that's gonna assist black people to move forward in this world. So where we ain't always the last in everything behind all the other races. When I say programs, I'm talking about helping with student loans, paying off student loans. I'm talking about funding down payments for homes. I'm talking about things like that. Business loans, stuff like that. Stuff that's going to actually help us progress.
yeah, I'd be more for that than anything else. I think that's the
That's
most
what I'm saying.
valid way. I mean, establish a foundation as opposed to just giving out some money and wasting it. But here's my last question for you, okay? And so, how do you feel that the conversation about illegal immigration that the Democrats are having, basically saying let them come over for free, let them have free health care, give them all these benefits and stuff, yet blacks are primarily voting Democrat? Are blacks hurting themselves by voting that way? Because who do you feel like the illegal immigrants have the biggest impact on what community?
They say, let who come over here for free?
The illegal immigrants. That's what they were saying in that first Democratic debate. The Democrats.
Which one of them said that?
All of them. They was raised, except for Tulsi. I think Tulsi and maybe one other person didn't raise their hand, but basically all the rest of them raised their hand.
Are you telling me the truth? Because you got me ready to say fuck the Democrats.
Man, I'm trying to. You can go watch it for yourself. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
That's absolutely asinine to say bring more illegal people over here when the people here already can't afford health care and give illegal people free health care and free, what else you say?
Yeah, basically free, they give them free health care and basically benefits and stuff like that. Like, they're getting rid of the because it used to be criminal law, I guess, that to cross over the border. Now they're just making it a civil penalty. And my thing is, if, they spending all their money to get across the border anyway, how you going to sue them? How you going to make it a civil penalty? Like, what money are they going to have to do that? But again, like I say, but basically they're just basically trying to. I don't want to call it amnesty, but it almost sounds like that, and they're kind of with the open arms idea. I mean, you can watch it, like it's one of the first things they ask in each of the debates. So if you think I'm pulling your leg, you can check it out. I'm sure if you pull up a short clip on YouTube, it'll show it. But I'm not lying about that. Basically, almost all of them raised it. They asked how many people would be in favor of forgiving, the illegal immigrants and offering health care and different stuff like that. And pretty much all of them raised their hand except for like Tulsa.
Well, they definitely wouldn't get my vote on that point. No, that's a no-go for me. No, I can't rock with that.
What you say? I just spoke to Brittany from Spectrum and told her I'm listening to the dead.
But they got to be talking about something else other than that.
They talked about some other things, but that was, like I said, we were talking about how they never mentioned reparations, but they talked about that for a solid segment. They talked about that for quite some time. Then they addressed a couple of other issues, but to me, then they started speaking Spanish for a little bit, and then, like I said, they addressed a couple of other little issues, but it wasn't ever really anything about the things that people care about, which is bringing back jobs, which is saying, how do you know, that I'm gonna be able to support my family in the future and things like that. It was more talking about how much they hate Trump. He's the biggest threat to the country. It wasn't the shit that people want to hear. People want to know, how am I going to make a living? How am I going to be able to support my family? How am I going to be able to improve? How can I, raise my status in society? Things like that. That's what I think people care about. Economic situations. What are we going to do? They talked about, the environment and things like that, which I think is something you have to consider slightly. But I don't think it was really things that, are going to benefit society as a whole, so.
But I don't even agree with the premise that the Democrats need to keep talks of reparations to keep the black vote. I don't agree with that.
So you think that black people gonna vote for him anyway?
Even if they didn't talk about reparations, they were still gonna have the black vote because Democrats, they feel like more blue collar and white. I mean, Republicans represent the white rich people, so it's always an underlying thing. So, yeah, it makes me. I don't know. I don't understand why people think black folks just sitting around waiting on the reparations check. This shit is stupid.
I'm waiting on mine. So if you get yours first, you call me, let me know so I can be checking for the mail. I'm waiting on
like
mine.
every day, black people just waiting up, going to check the mailbox, looking for their reparations.
Yeah, that's the first thing I do. Why y'all think I'm late to the den all the time? That's the first thing I do. When I get up right before the den, I go check the mailbox. Man, that bitch ain't came yet. I'm looking. I'm trying to see if I see any other black folks that they got a check or something, and then I'll be like, damn. Lock the mailbox.
You know what else I forgot to say? Why the fuck everybody worried about what black people gonna do with their reparations check? Whatever the fuck they gonna do with it, that's what they gonna do with it.
I want to know because I want to.
Do y'all ask the other people that got reparations what they do with their check?
Hell yeah, they bought some casinos and shit. I want to know what they gonna do so I can invest in those companies so that I can make more money. That's why I want to know what niggas gonna do with their shit. Because while they buying the products, I'm gonna be
everybody else
investing.
that got their reparations check spent their shit on themselves or did whatever they had to do with it. Ain't nobody put no camera in their face or did no survey to see what they gonna do with it. If your name on the check, whatever the fuck you decide to do with that check, that's your business. You can't save the world with, let's say they give everybody $1,000. You can't save the world with $1,000. Shit.
Boy,
the fuck out of here.
Telemarketer. She gonna call in. She gonna call in trying to sell us some Spectrum now. She gonna tune into the deal. She gonna call in and just say, well, how would you guys like to with the Spectrum internet? She gonna be like, yeah, why don't you switch your service? I'm like, hey, look here, hold on. This ain't what we talking about. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's right. Everybody can do what they want to do, but I want to know what they're gonna do. So, like I said, I can invest and try to make some turn that little funky money into some real money. So
that's why I said it needs to be programs. Because thinking we're gonna put the money together, we're not even united anyway. You know what I'm saying? So how the hell they think we gonna come together to do something? No, this shit got to already be set up.
Soon as them checks come in, I'm gonna ask somebody to borrow $1,000. I don't care if it's only $1,000. Let me hold that. I know you got it. So don't lie. Don't act like you ain't got it. Let me hold something. Okay. All right. Well, anything else that you would like to add, Miss Rashida?
It probably was, but I can't remember right now. That's about it. What time? Is that my phone or your phone?
That's probably my phone. They've been making all kind of noises and stuff going on.
Oh, you see, I had to call from a different number because my phone on the charger, so I had to grab somebody's phone.
Okay, no, I didn't even recognize it was a different number. I just I seen the first 3 digits of the area code. And I knew it was my partner. I knew my partner was calling.
I'm surprised you answered because last night you cut me off and you didn't answer my call.
I did no such thing. I told y'all we hitting that 2-hour mark, maybe just slightly past that, but that's where I got to start wrapping up and that shit. That's where we at now. But so because that way I have to produce more content for the people so that you guys can have
Yeah, you know what? I've been enjoying those short videos you've been posting.
Yeah, and that's why I say I gotta have more time to knock those out. Because if I spend 4 hours in the morning stream and 4 hours in the late stream and then be trying to throw a little sauce in between and having some family time and doing all this stuff, I don't get the content out like I'd like to. So that's why I say I have to change up the schedule a little bit.
Right. Well, I guess that's my call. I think I've been on here about 5 minutes or so.
Miss Rashida, well, I appreciate your call and I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and opinions.
You
And
know, I'm glad somebody appreciate my call because it be a lot of people be talking shit about my calls and they don't never call in. So to those people, you can go to hell. You ain't calling in, you ain't got no opinion. I don't hear the shit. So on that note, I'm out.
all right, well, I appreciate it. Hopefully, hear from you later on tonight.
All right.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, now, normally this is where I wrap it up, but I know, I believe Miss Meat was trying to get in. So I will hold the line open just for a Miss Meat call, and there she go, right on time. I ain't even have to say it. I ain't even have to say it. You know what it is. But if she say what I think she gonna say, we finna fight. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this afternoon?
Rise up.
God damn, let me put a hang up button there.
Rise up. Don't you hang up on me.
Man,
Don't
okay.
you hang up the phone. What's up, y'all?
How you doing, Miss Meat? What's on your mind today?
I fell asleep last night. Yeah. So I listened to it this morning, the one from last night, and I was like, what that D. Nelly said. She was just dropping some stuff. I'm not ashamed to say I never heard that stuff. I don't. They didn't teach us much Black history in school. I went to a predominantly white school, so Black History Month, we only learned about Martin Luther King. That was about it. Rosa Parks, maybe. But all the other stuff I learned on my own. And as far as the wall thing, I'm all with it. I say build them up. What's taking so long? What's taking so damn long? Shit. You talk about, you got people that, trying to look for work and trying to find jobs. But you got these people wanting to hire these people because they're going to work for cheap. And you don't have to pay taxes on that person. You don't have to pay that. Whatever that tax you got to pay for each employee, you don't have to pay it.
No.
You know what I mean? They like it. They like getting paid for cash and by cash, and they like paying them by cash. It's just less work for them. But when you make it hard for them, then you got to hire the American citizens. So, and they can't say they don't have the money because they got all that goddamn drug money that they sitting up. They got all that drug money that they see. You can't tell me you cannot build that wall with that drug money. They see a lot of drug money. I forgot the number. I was watching something on Fox News, and they was pulling up the numbers on how much, when they was talking about the wall, they was saying how much the government had, and so much drug money, so much this money, but it was enough. What y'all waiting on? See, they waiting to disperse that shit to where they want to disperse it, in their pockets. And as far as the Democrat and Republican, okay, I'm not a Democrat because I'm Black. Because I'm going to tell you something. My uncles, they're Republicans. My mom, I don't know what she was. I really don't ever remember her talking about politics. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's not because I'm Black. That's not. But all the candidates that they have now, there's not one I like. But I'm not going to not vote, even if I got to go write my own damn name in. I'm not going to not vote. I'm going to vote because it's something I can do. And the respirations, we're going to talk about respiration.
We got to breathe, right?
Yeah, let's talk about this respiration. Now, damn the money. Give me the 40 acres. I don't want the money. I want the acres. What did you promise us? Give me what you promised us. If you're going to give it to us, like you said the other day, I'm not going to go out and fight for that shit. I'm not going to go stand with no picket signs. Give me my reparation. I'm not going to do that. If it comes to me in the mail, hey, I'm damn sure spending. But other than that, I think it's just a waste. I think everybody, they just blowing hot ass air. Ain't nothing to happen with that. And if it does, guess what? If it does, it's going to be some shit like, well, we counted this many Black people, so this is how much you're going. By the time we split it up, we'll send you a $4.32 check.
$4, man. Yeah, that's it's like one of them class action lawsuits where you think you're gonna get something, you put in all that work and you get a whole $1.35. What about the mule though?
Bro, please correct her. What are you talking about when I say respiration?
Yeah, that was
they must not have been listening to the call earlier, huh?
Yeah. I be having that roll bacon because it'd be funny to me. That's my boy.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's to be his age, pretty knowledgeable. He's to be his age. He watches. You can tell he either got a lot of old people around him or he just listens to every goddamn phone.
It might be a little bit.
Yeah, 'cause he don't neck or nothing, so he's pretty good at it.
Okay, but what about the mule, though? What you gonna do with the mule? If they're gonna give you the 40 acres, what about the mule? You gonna?
I'll take the mule. I'll go donate it to some farmer.
What you
You
got?
gotta be. You gotta take that off my. I can write that off on my taxes.
See,
As charity.
The mule ain't got no chance, man. The mule ain't getting no love. You know, he there for a reason. You know, he trying to gotta pull a plow, do something with his ass. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not for that. I'm no mule. I'm not for to take care of no animals. I know me, so I ain't gonna lie. The damn people be out there talking about my mule starving and flies out around. I ain't gonna do that. I go donate it.
So you got to be careful because you know they're gonna give all the niggas 40 acres. They're gonna put it all kind of in the same area. You got to guard your mule. Mules gonna be like pit bulls once they start giving niggas all that farmland. You know they're gonna be ran up and stole your mule. You gotta protect. You gotta put them on a leash. You know what I'm saying? You can't let them just wander around the property. You gotta protect your mule. You know what I'm saying? You can't just niggas be coming up walking mules.
Man, I'm selling some of the acres, and I'm keeping some of my acres. That's how that'll work.
Well, I'm gonna let you
know?
know when you ready to sell. I'm gonna grab a couple of yours. Because like I say, I want all the land. I'm trying to build a theme park.
But see, that's the thing. Okay, just say you get the acres. Just say you get the 40 acres and mule and no money. You can't build until you get some money. So I'm gonna have to sell some of them because I can't start building on something like that. You gotta spend some to get some.
Yeah,
so I would sell in order to build.
I'm investing some sweat equity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give me some seeds. I'm gonna learn how to grow some shit, and then we gonna just start from the bottom. You know, it may take a little bit, but we go.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm selling 10 acres off the rip. Off the rip. I'm not going to start from the bottom, and now I'm here. No, I'm already here. You gave it to me. I'm here now. I'm doing something with it.
I'm keeping everything. I ain't coming off nothing. But look, I'll buy your 10. If your 10 close to mine, I'll buy your 10 too. Just let me know when they start.
And I'll tell you my 10. No, I ain't finna sell it to I ain't finna sell it to you black folk, you Negroes, because you're gonna be wanting to discount. Look, I'm buying 10. Let me get it.
Oh man, you know how it goes. You already know how it goes. You know? Hey, look, I'm buying in bulk.
This ain't no hookup situation. This ain't no hookup situation. I ain't fooling with y'all.
Man, my nigga can't get the hookup. Look, Master P dropping. I got the hookup too. Why I can't get the hookup? You know what I'm saying? Why I can't get no.
Did it already drop? I see them make it up. I see when they was making it.
No, I don't know if it dropped yet, but I think it's coming out soon. I don't think it's out yet.
Well, Romeo did that one. Master P didn't do that one. Romeo did that one.
Well, yeah, they already talking about making a part 3. Part 2 ain't even came out yet. They don't even know if it's good. They talking about making a part 3 already.
Right.
That's crazy.
Use the mule and save on gas. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I'm not a farm person. I'm not an outdoors person. Hell, I don't even grow a fucking garden. I don't like outdoors like that. I'm just not an outdoors person.
Man,
You
better get them Jordans muddy.
No, I hire somebody to do it. Maybe some of them illegals they keep letting over here.
How they gonna get it if you get if they giving the land, which we know ain't gonna happen. They building the wall, so the wall and the land gonna be. They can't give you the land till they build a wall. So then you're gonna have to work it yourself. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have no illegals to tend the land. You know what I'm saying? You can't have both. You gotta pick one side or the other. Now you know what'd be some real hoe ass shit. They build a wall and get a bunch of illegals to do it. Niggas don't even get, can't even get paid for building the wall. Cause look, they building the wall. Look, y'all gonna see me filming the den live from the wall. I'm trying to get one of them wall jobs. Look, I'm gonna build the den when I get off work.
Right. No, I'm not. I don't do outside. So I'm just not. I don't go to outdoor barbecues at the park and all that. I don't do none of that.
What?
Man, I got them flies flying around your food. Ever since I was little, I seen that movie The Fly, and I seen when they spit that green shit out. So every time the fly land on my food, it's gone to the trash.
Man, look, you better stab that fly. You gotta be quick with the fork. Wow, have to catch that fly, eat that fly with your food. That's extra protein. What you talking about? You gotta build strong muscles. That's protein right there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get that fly.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't do it. Like, you won't come to my barbecue. Is it indoors or outdoors? No, I'm sorry. You want me to sing you something? I some potato salad afterwards. If you want, it depends on who I'm making the potato salad for.
That's tough. Potato salad, is it white or is
No,
it
but
yellow?
for real though, have y'all ever seen somebody with raisins and potato salad for real? Like that shit be going on Facebook. I ain't never seen some raisins
Man,
and potato salad.
Miss V said she saw the raisins in the potato salad. We had I forgot what night that was. It was a few months back. I got to look at it because I think I put the video on the Instagram. So I got to see what night that was. But she said that she co-worked, they had like a little potluck and they brought the raisins in the potato salad. And I think Roman said somebody put some lemons in the pecan pie or something like that. There was some crazy stuff going on. And Professor Trio called in and said the potato salad was white. He ain't know what it was, and it was just a whole bunch of sketchy things going on. We're gonna have to have a fucked up food night again sometime soon. We just talk about these terrible incidents we've had with food, especially after the hash brown Hardee's incident. So we gotta.
Man, that dude there, he got a tear in mine eye. Boy, you ass had rolled a tear in mine eye. Fat ass, fearful of food. Sure is down. Well, see, that's what we make us look bad. See, shit like that. And see, now somebody that's really getting racially profiled again, he gonna be the person that make you think everybody's crying wolf. Now this is ridiculous ass shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're afraid of food, but you wanted more food. What kind of sense does that make? That's what I'm saying. That shit don't make
Now look, I did see one thing. I did see is freaking pecans, cranberries, and raisins in what they call it stuffing. I call it dressing. She had pecans, cranberries, and raisins in her damn dressing. What the fuck is this? And then we had a potluck. First of all, I don't do potlucks at work. If I do a potluck, it's only going to be from the people, like I've been to their house. Been to their house, So I really don't do potlucks. But she had all this shit in there. And so I didn't know she was the lady that brought it, right? Because her name was on the list for something else. And she was sitting right there at the table behind me, and I was in there talking about it. And they were trying to bump me like that she is. So when I figured it out, I was like, oh, well, what did you putting on? Who taught you this? Where'd you get that from? Nasty. All you need is a little celery, a little sage. I do put chicken in mine, when you boil the chicken, I put chicken on it, But no, but I ain't never seen no potato salad raisins. I need a picture. I need to see somebody who's seen that shit for real.
Yeah, we gonna have to do some searching. But that's tough. We gonna have to get into that. That's a very particular conversation that we need to have.
But I know you over your time, so you over your 2 hour mark. I was doing a whole bunch. I was listening the whole time. I was just driving, so I couldn't comment a lot at the time.
Okay. Well, I
Hot as hell out here.
It's hot. I think it was raining out here early. I don't know if it's dried up or not, but I gotta double check. It was around on the right when I was getting ready to start. It was coming down pretty bad. So.
Oh, one more thing, Father. I've been going back listening to some of your old days before I got into it. Oh, that's what I've been doing. It's been some pretty good stuff. Y'all need to stop treating her so bad. Y'all need to start talking shit. I'm gonna have to start standing up for a girl, because she ain't getting nothing wrong with none of y'all. Y'all hate that lady who speaks truth. Y'all better leave Rashida alone.
Who bullied Rashida? Rashida is a motherfucking gangster. Rashida is a motherfucking gangster. Who bullied Rashida? Rashida got that strap. Rashida shoot somebody. I believe this in my heart of hearts. I don't want no plex. I don't want no beef with Rashida.
Yeah. It did. What'd be funny is every call she ends, she's like, fuck y'all in the chat. Whoever said this about me, motherfuck y'all, fuck y'all. She don't ever say fuck you. And if you said this about me, fuck you. That's gangster. That's how she does every call. I know to tell who she hit every call like that. Oh, that got them fuck. Oh, no, when y'all found that dude, but he's so fucking funny to me. I don't care. Y'all be wanting him to hang up the fucking phone. I want them off
stay on the phone.
Man, you know, I let Brito roll. It's just, you know, we gotta, because I want to make sure everybody, now that we get more calls and stuff, everybody get an opportunity. But yeah, you know, sometimes I would let Brito just roll. Brito be on it.
I
Man.
know. Yeah, I know. You got to, because you listen to the old days. I see you do have way more times. Like, what you supposed to? You're supposed to be able to build. You're supposed to build up. You know. So that means your topics are good. If that's the case, you know, you're supposed to build. Like I told you when I found it, I was listening to it. What's her name? Cash Me Out.
Yeah.
And she said something about you had made a video about something. And every time I hear somebody YouTube, I just write it down. I go on my phone and click on it, see what it is. So, but I've been listening to the older ones. I'm gonna have to ask you about, but I'll think about that later.
Okay.
Oh, that little nasty ass bitch, that blueberry, Jesus.
Oh, she got hit with a felony. They hit her
Yeah, I see. But you know what? Bluebell need to put that plastic film over their ice cream.
Yeah.
They really do. I bet you they will now because nobody's going to buy it.
Yeah, because they said it was some type of Twitter challenge or something. So that means she filmed it. That wasn't the only one that did it. I'm sure some other little nasty motherfuckers.
No telling how long it's been going on.
I was mad too.
Crazy.
I'm not bullshitting. I was gonna go grab me a little pint before the stream. I'm like, you know, kind of look crazy. And then I just happened to check my Twitter. Somebody tagged me in that shit. And I was like, man, I was mad. I was ready to fight. Like that shit was disgusting.
Churches. Who talking about church's chicken? That's nasty. You know, damn churches. I don't believe that's real chicken either. They talk about KFC. What the fuck is churches? How can they sell 15 pieces of chicken for $3? How? How do you do that? And pay your workers to cook it? Come on now.
No, look, don't ask no questions.
Listen, if I got a question about the food, guess who ain't eating it?
I'm saying, look, hey, you better be like old buddy. Go get your refund. Look, don't complain about it. Don't do nothing. Just leave the chicken on the counter. Just get your money back.
You know, Joe Biden is creepy to me. You know, the way he was standing there on that goddamn podium, I was like, this man is creepy. Like, if I was walking down the sidewalk and he was walking toward me, I'd probably cross the street. I'll do they know. Because he doing creepy. He just looks real creepy. And I said that when he was Vice. But don't be talking about, they don't need to be sitting up here hollering about he ain't going to make it because he's winning, because you got fat ass. He done grab people's pussies and titties and talk about this and that and all kinds of shit. So now that should be the reason why he don't get it. Not that reason. Not that reason. Because we already see that's not a problem. With the voters. That's not a problem.
Sometimes you just gotta grab it. You know, I mean, you can't. It's a habit. You gotta grab it.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, Miss Meat. I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Later.
All right.
Rise up.
Ah, goddamn. I'm gonna start hitting that mute button. Look, I'm gonna start hitting the mute button in the beginning of the call. I'm gonna let it say it so y'all ain't gonna hear it. I'm gonna mute it, and then right before I think we get to the end, I'm just gonna hit that mute button so that way, you know, she'll say it, but ain't nobody gonna hear that. But all right, here's the deal, man. We gotta get ready to wrap it up. Like I said, I got some stuff to drop. I have some videos dropping here for y'all shortly, scheduled and things like that. So make sure you check them out because YouTube is not always gonna promote them. I'm gonna start posting, little notifications on the channel page too, so that way I know everybody's not getting those. If you missed them from yesterday, it was 3 videos yesterday: the twin video, the hash brown video, and the firebombing video. So make sure you check that out. Let me see. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was real upset about that, but I'm glad I asked caught a case. That shit's nasty. That shit is fucking disgusting. I'm gonna be honest. And I hope, well, if y'all do, y'all do. If y'all offended, well, it is what it is. This is y'all representation. I question the sanitary nature of women with septum rings. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about it. I've just seen a consensus. There's just something a little bit different and off about them. And I've seen a lot of them engage in a certain mentality, especially when you're having conversation with them. A lot of them tend to be almost liberal extremists. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's the crazy thing about it. And so they're usually generally very, I guess you could say, pro-black extremists, but it's not even pro-black. They just pro benefits. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people may be upset about it, but when you follow certain trends, you don't know why you follow them. You better know what people be believing, because people will associate. I say I don't judge people, but I low key be judging. But I don't hate anybody. I just have, it makes me assume that somebody's going to be of a certain belief, and that's why I say I don't get mad about people being prejudiced. You know, if you look at me a certain way, there's a lot of niggas running around with dreads and tattoos and dressing a certain way, and they present a certain image. So I'm not surprised when somebody sees me that way. But then you generally have a conversation, and hey, you know, hey man, I always thought you were like this, or I assumed you were this, and this, and you know, it turns out you know that's not what the case is. You know, I'm surprised. Cool, it is what it is. You have to represent yourself to a certain extent, but you know, you can't be upset when people label you, because people they measure things by association, and what I mean by that is that familiarity. So if I see 10 niggas that look like, or motherfuckers see 10 niggas that look like me, and they all act the same way, and I'm the 11th one, you can't fault them for assuming that, okay, he's gonna think that way. So I can understand why people assume this about certain cultures. I mainly only see Asian people at corner stores, so I think they all own corner stores. I only see Asian people on Karate Flicks, so I think they all know karate. I miss Chicago Mike. Shout out to Chicago Mike, wherever he is, whatever he's got going on these days. But you know, that's just my thing. Outside of that, I don't have too much. I don't have too much to say to add that. Oh yeah. But Shannon, who brag about white hoods? White people. Man, hey, I'm tell you, I will tell you one thing. Now, most of the shit niggas be complaining about, I'll be like, y'all get off the bullshit. But the random hair touching is a no-go. That is a no-go for me. And it's not because, oh, you know, black hair is neat. I can't do it to you. Don't fucking do it to me. Because generally it's going to be a woman and they go, oh, your hair. And it's like, if I came up to you randomly and touched you on your hair, I'm going to jail. Don't fucking touch me. That's my only beef with that. It's not even a racial aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, there's a double standard there. If I just like, oh, like this woman's hair, let me go touch it, I'm gonna get an assault charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Like, outside of that, if everything else is a level playing field, I don't know, it's all good. Just don't randomly come touch the hair. You can ask and I will deny you, but just to feel like you can just touch me, like, that's really anything female, period. Don't just touch me. Like, women got that bad, you know, that you can just touch a motherfucker. Like, nah, you can't touch me. I'm looking. Him too, motherfucker. But with that being said, man, hey, I appreciate all y'all. We will be live tonight at 10. Stay tuned for some shorter content coming out. I may be, for those, the Houston fans, I may be dropping a short video. It depends. I got to look at a couple of things. I haven't followed all the trades and rumors and stuff. I may be dropping a short Rockets video on Salt Sports TV. May have something with the roundtable for Salt Sports. Got to see. But we won't be streaming on Salt Sports tonight. We will be streaming tomorrow on Salt Sports. And if you got friends who are Facebookers, you know, Salt Sports is available on Facebook and YouTube at the same time now. I was debating doing that with the Den, but the Den is a little too wild. That shit'll get banned off Facebook quick. That shit'll get, man. Do you understand? Like, Facebook got too many emotional people. Man, the Den would be in Facebook jail 30 minutes into the call. I'd be the guy that's locked up. So I know that they too sensitive on Facebook. So I don't think I'm a dual. I might dual stream to the Facebook group itself, since the group is closed. But I don't think I'll do it to the Facebook page like I'm doing with the Salt Sports page. I'm debating on that. We'll see. But with that being said, salute to you all. I appreciate you all. Let's go through the proper protocol. You talking about R. Kelly out there making music, making that sweet music. The proper closing protocol. And shout out to everybody who came through today and dropped some dinners. Shout out to Dan Strong, Thunderbolt Culture, and Miss Jessera. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to everybody, and not just y'all, but everybody who support the channel. And again, I want to repeat the biggest thing that you can do for the Den is to share it with like-minded friends, okay? With like-minded friends, because YouTube, they're gonna push a little bit here and a little bit there, but the best way for this community to grow is to share it with like-minded friends, people who are willing to engage in debate and conversation. It doesn't always have to be that they agree with everything, but if they overly emotional and all that, well, you can leave them where they at. But if they're willing to listen, if they're willing to debate their views and points, and get open-minded about certain topics, and can engage in a variety of conversations, they're more than welcome to join the den. You know, we got love for everybody. Again, I'm your host. If you want to follow my personal social medias, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. And just let me know if you follow me on the gram and you want to follow back. Just let me know who you are. If you don't have like a picture, if I don't know who you are, I generally won't. But if you just let me know, hey, you know, I'll be in the den. You know, I will follow you back on my Ed Honcho account. I don't necessarily follow back on the Den Show account, but I'll follow you back on my personal account if you need a follower or two. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're just listening in. Make sure that you share the Den on your favorite social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, if it is on Twitter, if it's on Reddit. I don't know if we have any Redditors in here. I'm not real big on the Reddit, so again, I don't know. But whatever your favorite platform is, again, as we try to build this community and help this grow, and we must reclaim the influx of women that have come through this channel and violated our rights. A skillet? What you gonna do with that skillet? What you cooking? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Den Show Live. You want to send an email, denshowlive@gmail. Now the morning dens are now 1 p.m. dens, so no more den at 10 a.m. It's at 1 p.m. and which is this den here. And I will see y'all tonight at 10 p.m. Central. Hopefully y'all will be able to make it. If not, you can always go to the Den Show podcast. I've been uploading the latest streams, the audio for those up to the podcast. If you just want to listen in, even if you don't want to check the chat, just want to hear the conversation, you can definitely go there. Go to the denshowshop.com, get you some of that Den Show merch. And, there's a variety of items. Well, a bunch of shirts and a mug. I'm going to start me a mug club like Crowder. You can get you a Den mug. I'm going to come up with a couple. I got to put some of them sayings on some of the mugs. Some of y'all callers, I'm going to make some special dedicated mugs to y'all, because y'all have some some great sayings that we've attributed to certain folks. So I love it. I love this community. I do. 833-284-3336. You can text the Den line anytime, even if we're not live. You can text, you can call, leave a voicemail if I don't answer. If I'm not too busy, I'll answer. I'll chop it up with you. Screenshot if you got some interesting news, picture messages, memes, whatever it may be, something you want to share, you can send it my way. I'll definitely check it out. If you want to support the channel by making a one-time donation, you go to streamlabs.com/The Den Show, like all of these wonderful people did, Dan Strong, Thunderbolt, Cultured, and Miss Just Sarah. Or if you want to make a one-time, or if you want to pledge monthly, to the channel, you go to patreon.com/The Den Show. Shout out to Donald Trump, Diana, Dan the Man. Shout out to Stina Starry-Eyed, James, and Miss Goya. Did it say Betty Spaghetti too? Betty Spaghetti. If I didn't, look, hey, if I missed you, I didn't mean to dish you. But with that being said, hey, I'm finna steal, finna get a meal, finna wheel and deal, guard your pistachios, and guard your grill. I am out. What? I was gonna say fuck Wesley Snipes and them taxes, but Wesley Snipes probably kick my ass. That motherfucker's a real live ninja. You don't pay them taxes, the government gonna get your ass. So that's a lose-lose for me. I guess I can't win on that one. I'm out, but I'm finna steal these pistachios.